John and Vinny, here we go. Brand new vibe, brand new flow. Wasn't in the cards before, now they're back and playing more. Tabletop, PC screen, sports and talk, keeping it clean. Vinny's chill, John's Canada cool. Two good gamers, talking rules. Below, replacement, level. Roll the dice, start the show. Sports and talk, here we go.
Once again, we thank Jamie Marshall for his creativity.
Yeah, that's great.
John is Canada cool. Welcome, everybody, to Below Replacement Level. My co-host, John Bergeron, and our special guest, Mike Silva, the creator of the great, beautiful baseball bash. If you have not heard of this project, you definitely had to be somewhere in outer space. This thing is taking on a life of its own, and I am thrilled, and I know John is thrilled to have Mike with us. Mike, welcome.
Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate it. And thank you, John. It's nice to meet you finally. I just wanted to say, if anybody hasn't seen the posts, my almost daily videos of the baseball bash from Jamie or whatever on your Facebook page, then I'd be shocked, because it's like, I hope I'm just not spamming everything. You know what I mean? It seems like every day we have a new video, new broadcast being announced. So I just hope that's not, too much for everybody. But yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure, and I'm really lucky to be here tonight to talk about the bash and whatever else you want to talk about.
Oh, we're lucky to have you. And spam away, because that's this is a sick project that you had.
There's a lot worse things on social media than
Oh, that's true.
The more of this, the better.
Yeah, that project, man, I'll tell you, it's been over a year now, just over a year since the idea came into my head about this. And, I never really even thought that it would get this far, but it's just one of those things that never got old. Enjoyment came to every night I played, and Jamie was on there with every time. Just the fun we had, just talking baseball and learning about the players. Oh, it just never got old. It still doesn't get old. I'm still excited about playing the next game. You know what I mean? So it's just fun.
Walk us through, what's the genesis of the entire project? Because did it just come at you in a dream one night? And
no. Actually, it's funny. You might not know. I spend a lot of my time on the Discord, and there's a certain Discord group. It's the Field of Dreams Baseball League. I don't know if you know Steve Tate. He is one of the commissioners that created these leagues, and so basically, most of my nights here, sometimes during the day, I'm always that chat on the Discord is always on. Like, there's always somebody in that chat. So it's true. And honestly, it's become my daily routine to join, just shoot the breeze with the same guys, like Bernie Strom's on there, a bunch of other guys. Jamie comes on there.
Oh, by the way, Mike.
Yeah.
That was great having him on. But we love Bernie. So
yeah, Bernie. Yeah, he's great. So anyway, the point is, so every night, usually somebody's on there sharing something they're playing, either it be a sports game or even maybe a non-sports game, and we'll just watch and shoot the breeze and just talk about life and whatever. So that's one of my friends from that group. His name's Jeff, and he was streaming just like I think it was a PC replay baseball tournament that he had created. It's just a tournament of some of the best World Series teams, and something that you would see. And it was like the 27 Yankees against like some other 40, from 48 Indians team or something like that. And I'm watching and I'm like, you know what? This is, and I've never been a person that does like one-offs kind of things, that just kind of does like mix and matching teams. I was like, what would it be like if all of a sudden, like, you could just play every team in history again and have a tournament like this? You know what I mean? And then I was so I'm thinking, and I said it out loud, and there's a few other people on there. Like, I don't know if you know Big Clue. He goes by Big Clue is his name. He's
I know of him.
Yeah. So all of a sudden he's sending me these things, he's sending me these DMs on Discord saying, well, it would be X amount of teams and you could do this amount. And he's starting to put the ideas in my head. And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Well, how would I set up the bracket? Because it wouldn't be even, and have to have like extra rounds. And then it just became a conversation. And then next thing I know, I'm like really like putting it into Copilot. And I'm like, all right, well, and I said Copilot, like, what happen if I want to do a tournament with every team from 1901 to 2024? because it was 25 was still in progress at that time. I was like, how do I do this? And then that came up with an answer, but it wasn't actually what it gave me wasn't exactly accurate 100%, but it gave me a good starting point. So right from there, I was just kind of, and then I brought up to Jamie, and Jamie's like, yeah, this is great. This is crazy, And then of course he helps. He jumps in and helps. He helps me put the thing together. And it took about that. I think that was May 21st last year is when that was. When I looked back on the chat, on the Discord to find out exactly what the date was that we started talking about that. Wow. And I would say by Memorial Day, which is maybe a week or so, I started maybe playing some of the first preliminary round games out, just started. So yeah, it took me about a week just to figure out how I wanted to do it. And then honestly, like from there, as time went on, I refined the process, refined what I wanted to get out of it. And I started to organize myself better. But yeah, that's how it started, really, just from watching someone play a tournament game on PC Replay Baseball. To me, it sounds like, and I bet you a lot of people have thought about that, probably have that idea, but never really entertained actually even being able to do that, right? So, but
that's why I never thought of it, because I never even gave it a thought. I'm like, this can't be done. What game could ever do something like that?
Yeah.
Wow. How many teams again?
How many teams?
2,676 teams. So now, just to so, and it worked out where in order to have an even number of brackets and a number of teams, you had to have 2,000. You had to take the 2,676 and whittle it down to 2,048, because 2,048 would evenly be able to spread over 64 team brackets. So I did all this. I was doing all this figuring in that first day, and so I had to do something with the 628 teams that were left that were worse. That were above the 2,048. So I had to create these two preliminary rounds, which were one game, which is just one and done. So the first round was the worst 314 teams. No, I'm sorry, the worst 628 teams. So that was 314 games I had to play, and then the winners of those games played the next worst 314 teams, and that brought it down to 2,048 teams. So it's try to wrap your head around that. So
those teams, John, were equivalent to our show. So they were below bash level. As we are below replacement level, they were below bash level.
In the preliminary round, Vinny.
There you go.
And I'll just say for those that you think, well, those preliminary round games are probably like just a waste because none of those teams are going to do anything. Well, the Baltimore Orioles of 2000 they started in the second preliminary round, so they were like they had to play in the second preliminary round. They won that game, and then they ended up, and they're still in the final. They're in the final 16 right now. They actually won. They won their bracket, and then they beat the 1906 Cubs in
that's
in 3
incredible.
games.
We definitely want to.
That was going to be one of my questions. Like, who's one of the teams who surprised you all the way through? But conversely, who's a team that you thought would have gone into the final 32 that got eliminated really early?
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a lot. I can let me just. You can see Can you see my screen still?
Yeah, we're gonna get. I just wanted to address Gary's question. Gary,
Go ahead.
Me and Jamie actually discussed that. He said, how many centuries would it take to do this project in cards and dice? And me and Jamie actually discussed that. And we figured you had to start when you were old enough to know what dice were and hopefully finish it before you were collecting Social Security.
So
it's insane. Yeah. It's insane.
So we did a review slide deck, which we had a show. One of our first shows, actually, we call it the Bash Live. The first episode was a review of all the 32 brackets. And so this slide here is perfect for what you asked, John. Is it's all what these are all the teams you see listed. We're all the number one seeds. We're number one seeds in their brackets.
Oh,
and they all lost. They lost to the 16 seed. So
look at this: the 67 Kansas City A's beat the 60 Yankees.
I know. Can you believe that? So if you want to list the teams that got upset, there you go. But you look at the final 32, and there's a lot of teams there that definitely should be. Like the 27 Yankees made it, 75 Reds made it. Like all the teams, a lot of teams you would expect are still there, but only 32 teams could have made that. So some people, a lot of teams had to lose.
Right. The 93 Mets beat the 53 Dodgers. That's wild.
Yep.
The 04 Expos, their last season in Montreal, they got by the Astros.
Wow. '69 Royals beat the '98 Braves in that pitching staff. This is just
Yeah.
insane stuff. And we're going to try to cover it all. But I got to tell you, folks, this might take another show because
that's one thing that Jamie and I pride ourselves on is we've definitely tried to keep copious records and stats from this because it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. You have to, it's a lot of work and effort to get OOTP to have it do what we wanted it to do. OOTP is easily the best program to do this. It allows you the most flexibility, but it's still a lot of work. So keeping the stats, keeping all the stories and the all the the winners, and we have all these tickets to punching the tickets, so all these teams that punch their ticket to the 32.
Mike, please tell me here's
the overall standings.
Please
it's all on my OneDrive. Yeah. So, but no kidding, right? So, but here's the overall standings. I don't know if you can see this. Let me zoom in. But
listen,
look
at
the
this is all said and done.
Yeah,
you could write a book.
That's what Jamie said.
On it. He's 100% right. And you could get Marshall Garvey, I bet, to help you.
Oh, maybe.
What a good guy he was, too. I listened in on that show, too. Wow.
So look at these. These are the all. No, I'm sorry. No, look at the all-time standings here. So this is all the games that have played. Look at the Yankees. They've demolished everybody. Like 703 games they've played. Look at the rest of the teams. Like nobody's had more than 600. I think they've played just because the amount of teams they had in those brackets, because all their teams are pretty much good. There's only a very few teams. I think they only had 3 teams that played in the preliminary round out of every year, 126, 124 teams or whatever it was. They had 3. Wow. And so, they obviously dominated the winning percentage. They still only put 3 teams in the final 32, and a few other teams did that as well. But that's good because we want the diversity in there.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, then the poor Mariners, right? 50 and 84, they couldn't get out of their own way in the bash, So,
Gary just said Mike's OneDrive subscription costs $1,000 a month.
Actually, no, I'm probably the cheapest cheapskate in all of baseball sim hobby. Probably, I don't even pay for my stream yet. I use the free version. I'm streaming at 720p.
So. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm doing. Nothing wrong with that.
But so here, they got the standings, and Jamie put this together. This is like a little. Sorry, I can't do the full screen, but Jamie put this thing. It's just basically a breakdown of the franchises, how many
Let me
times.
See if I can make it a little bigger.
Yeah, so so the best, it tells you what each franchise's best finish was in all those brackets. So all of these made it to the championship, at least the championship round, the final round in the bracket. They might not have won, but they did. They made it to the round, and it tells you the logo round finishes. Now the logo round is an interesting concept I kind of came up with on the fly, but the logo round, we called it was basically round 4 of each bracket. And the reason why I called it the logo round is because if you notice on my my brackets here, these are the brackets that I put up at the end, the final results. There wasn't enough space to put the logos on the brackets until we got to round 4. so what I said was, because all the other ones are really, the logos would be tiny. And so basically once the team got to round 3 and they won that round 3, all right, they get their logo on the bracket, even if anything else, they get their logo on the bracket. So
very creative, huh, John? Yeah.
So there's things like that. It's just this thing really, and Jamie, helps obviously bring this thing alive. It's amazing what he does. He creates these cards, these all-star cards. We have all-star bash cards.
Blank. Wow.
Yeah, these are the team. These are the actual the first team all-stars. Willie Mays, Ted. All these guys are the ones you would expect. Babe Ruth, all the overall the best players.
Wagner.
Oh, wow. Chipper Jones is on there actually. Okay. Eddie Collins,
look at that.
Yep, Lou Gehrig, of course. I mean, all these Yogi Berra, Rivera, Plank, and Clement. I mean, all these guys, and it's amazing how this all worked out. They all had. If you look at all the stats, I'm going to publish all the stats. Once this thing is over, like you said, I could probably publish a whole other baseball encyclopedia with this.
You could.
That'd be awesome.
But So yeah, we even have second and third team all stars. Let me unzoom this a little bit. So
Holy
yeah,
cow.
oh that actually is wrong. I didn't update that. I messed that one up. So but Jamie creates these little stories. Like look at these Ty
Look
Cobb
at that.
signing autographs for the Braves. Like that never happened. But obviously it's just funny to see like he's like at the All-Star game and he has like he's signing All-Star. And then he makes these stat leaders look like the baseball cards of like from the 70s and things like
I
that.
like that. That's
Yep.
sharp.
Yep. You know, Mike, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, well, it's a pretty good project. That's,
Yeah.
it took me, I don't know. I had no idea the enormity of this thing. And then to know, like, okay, he took every baseball team in history. All right, that's, how many seasons. Not even realizing it's thousands of teams. And then you add in all of the rounds you had to play. And I'm like, this has got to get some publicity, man. This has to get some publicity.
Yep.
And man, do you deserve a ton of credit. You are definitely in the Hall of Fame of gaming. I'm serious. I've been around a long time, man. And yeah.
Yeah, just one back. I forgot to mention. So if you look at the standings here, if you look at the very bottom and you look at the totals, see this 5,645. That's the total number of games that were played in the Bash. So
That's
absolutely incredible.
that's actually accurate. Oh, that's not accurate. No, it doesn't include the final 32. So there's more than that. Final 30. My spreadsheet has the updated totals, but this is just a screenshot from there.
Wow.
Oh man, so it's been see, I love that stuff too. I love doing this. I love spending time putting the stats together, researching, finding the good stories, and Jamie loves that too.
Yeah.
And so I think that really we just clicked together when we were doing this, and that's what's made it so successful. So
Mike, I haven't touched the baseball program or cards and dice. Well, I won't say cards and dice. I did. I started a Nolan Ryan replay, but that went like all my other replays. It's on the burner. But this whole project has got me thinking like, oh, I want to get back to this one thing. So I created replay like franchise teams with Replay's PC game, which I really enjoy. But there is no other game that can do what you've done with OOTP. None. I don't know of it.
It's really yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, Action PC it has been thrown out because it does have all the seasons, but you have to purchase every season. OOTP gives you you pay the $50 or whatever, and it gives you every season that all right there in the database. It's like you don't have to. You can mess around with any season you want. You can import any season, any player from any time. So, but like I said, it's not easy. It still wasn't a lot. Jamie will attest to this that I've done. I would take sometimes it would take me a week to get one bracket file ready to go. Like, it would take me a week to do that. And then we'd play the games, and then it would take me another week because it just takes so much time the way we did it. And because we wanted to try to be as not accurate, but just be as realistic. So what we would do is I would create a new game in OOTP. I don't know if either of you are familiar with OOTP at all.
I messed with it a little bit. Matter of fact, I was telling Jamie today, I was getting into it. Then I had a problem, and that's another issue. I'm not knocking nobody, but I couldn't get any support for it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'm stuck. I can't get support, so I by the wayside. But boy, oh boy, you had me thinking about trying it again. That's for sure.
Well, you got me. I mean, I'm on the beta team and stuff.
You should be.
But
stock.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was just, for every bracket that you see, that 32 brackets and whatever, I had to create a new save game file, a new save game, and then import all the teams in that bracket into the game, start up. And then what Jamie and I would do is go through first of all, I'd go through every team. I'd update, make sure they had the right uniforms and home and away uniforms and the
That's
logos.
the other thing.
That's
mind
me.
Blowing.
That's
mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then we'd also go through each team and we'd have baseball reference open. We'd have the team open. We'd make sure the active roster was more or less correct. It was all using the end of season rosters. So we just wanted to make sure everything was correct, that most of the guys that are playing on the active roster were the guys that actually played, not like just guys that had. Sometimes OOTP would put someone who had 2 at bats on there, and we're like, no, he doesn't belong in there. Let's get him off. And sometimes that was weird because sometimes it might have been somebody really good's rookie year. Like I think Tony Gwynn, for instance, he actually was on the active roster, but he wasn't a starter his rookie year because he didn't play that much. Right. So but you know, so it's kind of weird doing that. But that's what they would have had as a lineup, you know, that year in 1982, actually.
Well,
So
I
anyway,
remember watching
yeah.
you guys one night on Discord, and I think it was you, Dave Lando, and Jamie, and I was almost going to start drinking again when I saw how much you put into it. I was going to go whacking. I'm like,
Yeah, I know. Right?
God bless these guys. Yeah, because you're going right down to the most minute detail, including trying to put the right positions for the
Oh, yeah.
players and everything. And I'm like, they are not backing off of anything for
Oh
this
yeah, I
project.
think I remember that. Yeah, I remember you were on there that night, and we were just kind of going through the teams.
You
It's
couldn't
not,
see
it's
my
not fun.
eyes were like this.
Yeah, you were probably like you know.
Oh my goodness!
But I mean, you know, those are the nights where on Discord and where Jamie and I would be doing this, and like some people would pop in. I'm like, it's probably not the most fun thing in the world for people to just join. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, we're putting the teams together. But some people liked it. Some people like to look at the players. Say, oh yeah, that guy was good. Or you know, if I was doing like an '80s team or a '90s team, people were like, oh yeah, I remember this team. You know, and
I
it was
love
kind of cool.
dead ball. I love dead ball.
But I'll tell you, just seeing every team that ever played, and you know, it's just amazing. It's just, I mean, I've seen every team, like the Seattle Pilots and the, you know, all whatever team. I've seen every uniform. I've seen like, you know, it's crazy. You know, it's
Mike,
really
you mentioned uniforms, Cleveland Spiders.
No, they weren't on there. The Cleveland Spiders, they were pre 1901.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
Yeah, but Cleveland had the, as you can see, let's see, they had the I have it right here. Cleveland Guardians, Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Naps, Cleveland Blues, and the Cleveland Broncos are actually part of, I think they were 1902.
Don't get me started with the Guardians.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Nobody likes that. I don't think anybody likes that name.
Wow. The Naps from Nap Lejeune.
The Naps, yeah, that's right. Yep. Nap Lejeune. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, all these teams, like you know, it's really cool. You know, the Colt 45s. You know, the Colt 45s.
Yes. Now, Mike, are you able to bring up the uniforms on the screen?
Well, I mean, it depends in the game, or let's see. I can show you.
I just find them fascinating. I think it wasn't Dave. Somebody commented about the brown Padres uniform, and I just thought that was like fantastic to look at.
Well, let's see. I can do this.
I also love the old New York.
I mean, Giants. I can show you the files. Like it's not as sexy, but it's you know, if you want to bring up the game, I could bring up the game and show it to you in the game. 1 second. When I do that, hold on a second. And by the way, I'm still using Out of the Park 26 for the bash. I mean, I use OOTP. I'm 27. I still use that for other things, but for the bash. I'm doing. So I'll just because I didn't want OOTP 27 came out when we were very close to finishing all of the 32 brackets, and I really just didn't want to mess around going to a new version just in case there was some kind of bug. And, you know what I mean? Yeah. I just wanted to, this is what you dance with who you came with, you know?
Yeah. Too much, too risky.
Okay, so let's see. Modify.
I mean, John, the uniforms have been awesome, right? You look at the uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, these are just like the 2000 Orioles. They even have like alternates on some of these. 60. Well, what was the one you wanted to see? Oh, the 82 Padres. Yeah. So that's yeah, so there's the 82 Padres. You get those are cool. I like these are my favorite. These are cool, you know. And you know, so you can all, you know, these are the files, you know, they have the cap. So basically we have to go into this screen, load the logos, load the caps, load the jersey, load the pants, load the socks, load the jersey font, and then that's just the away team. Then we have to go for the home and do the same thing. That was all me. I mean, it took me a while to do that, obviously, but
can't imagine.
Unfortunately, there's
the Astros of the '80s with the different colors.
Yeah, this one, that one right there.
That looks sharp.
Yeah, I always think of Mike Scott when I see that.
Yeah,
and that's their away
when he pitched in '86.
The Royals. Yeah, so this is, you know, I actually created all the uniforms myself as well, along with the ballparks. I actually created
the uniforms too.
I did, yeah. I don't even want
to. You still work?
I know, really, right? Well, it's been years in the making. Like and actually with the uniforms, I did kind of lead. I kind of led a small project team. Like there was a couple guys that helped me out. They did a lot of the dead ball uniforms, and I kind of did from like 1930 on. But and some guys, and there was a big help for them to do the dead ball because there's a lot of different intricate templates and stuff like that were needed for the dead ball. You know, even though they're very simple, like the 06 Cubs, like. it's very simple, but you can see like they have collars and they have like buttons
Yeah.
and, you know,
Little patches.
yeah. I mean, some of these things were, you know, 10 see, I can see that that's kind of cool, like the Cubs, like the 1910 Cubs. Like,
So we can't see the uniforms, but
what do you mean?
like on the screen as you're showing them, you can't.
Oh,
I don't know. Oh, there you
Oh, there
are.
we go.
oh shit.
Oh my.
I'm sorry
goodness
for the
gracious.
curse. Yeah.
It's all right.
I thought I was
I'll
I
change
thought I
it
was
to
sharing
an-
the screen. You know what I'm doing? I'm sharing the other screen that I usually share for. I'm sharing a different screen than what
Just
I usually
look
share
at
for.
that. Look at
Sorry
that.
about that. Yeah,
Wasn't there a White Sox team either in the 70s or 80s that had shorts or something like that?
Yep. Late 70s.
yeah.
Is,
Look at
is
So
that
it's-
in there?
Oh no, the shorts you can't do. But I do have the collar. I have the butterfly collars on them. I do
Right.
have the
Okay.
butterfly collars, but not. But yeah, so here's like the Padres. Sorry, I thought I was showing you the whole thing.
No, that's all right.
So there's the Padres uniforms, and they got the 78 Rangers are another fun. That's another cool one.
Look at that.
Yeah, so you go to the home and away. Like I was showing the
So you showed 20 teams and we didn't see them. Good.
I didn't show there's the Wait, where's the 2000 Orioles? They
Theater
even
of
have
the mind, Vinny.
alternate
Theater of the
ones,
mind.
you know.
Oh,
There's the Astros, the ones that you.
Oh, yeah,
mentioned.
there we
it
go.
is. There it is.
Yeah, that was actually one of the first ones I created. I wanted when they created this new uniform template. They created, you know, these. Sorry, I keep clicking the wrong screen, but that's what the file looks like.
Wow.
So it's like a picture, you know, that's what the image file looks like, and it takes that and it creates the jersey. So this is like a brand new thing. And the first one, I was like, I'm going to do the hottest jersey I can think of. And well, it wasn't the hottest. It was just the most intensive. Like you had to do a line.
You know, I get that. I could see why you would go with them first. I mean, it's wow.
But then you got these White Sox ones with the really big stripes, and then of course the Yankees were easy because those are simple. They use pretty much almost the same. They use this uniform for like 60 years. So I mean, it's very simple.
Some teams really don't change their look too much, eh? Maybe the odd tweak here and there.
No, like the Yankees, the White Sox changed almost every year. They changed the uniform. The athletics for in the 60s and 70s, they changed theirs all the time.
Yeah.
And so some teams, I'm like, oh my god, like when I was doing all the uniforms, like every single season, I have to create a new file. It's like,
God bless you.
Here's
You have
the
the
Blue Jays.
Oh, look at
John's
that!
voice.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's the home and away. So I mean, and honestly, like, as in the 2000s and stuff, every team started to come up with all more alternates and things like that. So it's very it's interesting. So
Can't wait for you to do hockey.
yeah, I wish they could do. OOTP they make a hockey game, a franchise hockey manager, and I haven't bought the latest one, but I was poking around, and they don't have they have the historical database, and they have every hockey season, just like OOTP has every baseball, but you can't import the teams into a season or a tournament like you can with OOTP yet. So I should probably get on them about adding that feature, because if they could
These
do
are
that,
the same people that make a OTP.
yes,
You
franchise
shouldn't
hockey
have
manager.
to buy it. I'm sorry. I'll put that out there right now, live
Oh,
and
no,
in person.
Well,
Are you kidding me?
Well, I'm on the
Oh,
beta team, so I get to test the game and stuff. So it's
All right.
a baseball, so I feel like that's good, but yeah, that's the uniform. So that's that, and of course the parks are another thing. If you want to get into the parks now, or
Whatever you're looking to show, but I got to tell you, this is just we don't have enough time. Like we really don't to cover everything you've done here. Is mind blowing. It's mind blowing, and as a gamer. A lifetime game. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
really unbelievable.
So what for instance, yeah. Like what park do you want to see? Like, is there a specific park you want to look at? Something that I've created?
Let's go back to the old dead ball era.
Okay, well, actually, I'm curious. Have you been to Sky Dome at all, John? Have you been to the?
I've been to Sky Dome several times. Yeah.
So I don't know. I just wanted to show. So I'll just show you this.
So Gary wants to know: do you have?
They've modified it a little bit in recent years and stuff. I was there in '91 for the first time.
Yeah. So this is my model of Sky Dome. Now the outside is not obviously. I'm not really concerned with the outside, but I kind of just use this as a. But this is like my earliest model of Sky Dome. This is like the old hotel. I think it's a little things are different now. They've changed a few things here and there, but basically, yes. yeah, so that's the Sky Dome. It's got there's a lot more detail. I try to put more detail that you might not even see in the game. Like, sometimes like I care about what it looks like behind home plate and stuff, but most of the time you're not even looking at that. Now this park is not so much. This is one of my earlier ones. It's not as good, but still, it was a difficult park to do. I was a little daunting when I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, it's a lot of levels. There's a lot. You got to
You're,
make sure.
you're saying that's not as good. That looks real sharp to me. So if
All
there's
right,
better
well,
than that, oh,
let's
all
see.
right.
Let's see. I have,
When we get a chance, if we can, because we have a request to see a uniform, we'll go back to that, Gary.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
We'll go back to that. But so, all right, while you're showing parks, what do you use to build these parks? What
Oh, I
program?
use it's called SketchUp. It's a free program. Well, it was free. I still have the free version. It was Google SketchUp. I think is the one. I think Google owns. They own almost everything.
Yeah.
But it's let me show you. You said you wanted to see. Let me think of like a good park. Oh, Connie Mack Stadium is cool.
There you go.
So see, it's the SketchUp Make or whatever. I still have this free thing. Of course, like I said, I'm the cheapest guy in the hobby. So
Hey, listen, if it
free,
works,
if it's free, it's for me.
there you go.
So here's Connie Mack Stadium, right? So this
Oh,
is one I built. And it's got it's got I got all the advertisements. Let me just go.
That's the thing.
So and you got I even got the ones with like pictures and I try to get the scoreboards to be correct. I think that's actually an image from the actual scoreboard, so that they had. And the gem razors and the different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they were all a time. I try to get most of them to be time specific, time period accurate. Now the cool thing about this is I can just kind of put this anywhere on the stadium and it'll just bring me to the park, so I can just kind of look at it from any row of any thing. So that's kind of cool, right? I mean, so this is not in the game. This is just the model.
Okay.
So what I have to do is I have to export this model. And then put it into the game. And I put it. If I export the model to a 3D file, I guess you call it, then the game can read that and it'll add the crowd. And I have to set up to add the crowd, so the 3D crowds are there and stuff. So yeah, that's
incredible. So you have some questions here. Gary wants to know.
Yep.
How about the stadium that was so shallow? Which one was that? I don't know.
That's the first league park. That's the league park. Well, yeah. I mean, that's not. Well, that's
showed that, I think,
in the
last
game.
week.
Yeah, that's the league park 19. I believe it's this one. Yeah, so you can see how short this field is. I mean, like the right field is like this, but in the OOTP, when it comes into the game, it comes in. The right fielder is like back here, because the OOTP doesn't know the stadiums really. It just
dimensions
knows,
like.
And there's an editor where you can actually you can point out, you can tell the game, okay, these are the boundaries, these are the wall. You can give it like a little grid that will show you the different wall dimensions, but it doesn't know. At least I can't, not yet. You can't specify where to put the fielder on the. If you could drag and drop a little dot that says, okay, the right fielder goes here. But unfortunately you can't. It's just a standard place in every park. So sometimes
Imagine that was
the other one
park for like Barry Bonds or Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh yeah, it's like Polo Grounds or this one right here.
And Corey would like to see Crosley Field.
Oh, Crosley! I got 100 of those. His.
Oh my goodness!
This is LA Coliseum.
Right?
This is LA Coliseum.
Yeah. Okay.
Now this was cool. I made a whole bunch of rows that had stadium rows that had there were no fans in the seats. So that's great. But I created. Now this is another one. I think the player might be just over the other side of the screen, because they had to put this large screen here because it was such a short distance.
They killed somebody.
Yeah, and actually, so, but I, they even tried to, so I tried to do as much as I could. The fun for me was to look at all the pictures, do the research, and just try to make things look as realistic as possible. I'd spend hours, some of these I'd put 10, 12 hours into a park.
Wow.
At least, I mean, I don't even know, maybe it was more, I'd be up late. So
epic stuff, Mike. Epic stuff.
Yeah. And for those of you wondering, I am married, but not luckily, but my wife likes to go to bed early. So and I like to stay up a little late. So those hours that she goes to bed, I'm usually right here and doing the bash now. But or before, since like 2015, I've been doing parks and uniforms and so yeah.
We get Crosley Field on.
Oh yeah,
my
which
man
one?
Corey?
Is,
what year you want, Corey?
Well, I got 5 different versions of Crosley.
Okay,
I got
one that Johnny
1912 to
Bench
26,
abused.
1927 to 38, 39 to 41, 42 to 57, and 58 to 69. So that's the other thing. I took every single variation, or at least I didn't make a new file for every one, but anything where there's a significant change in field dimensions, I would make a new park. I would just basically copy it. It was kind of cool. So whenever they in real life, a park would have a renovation or something, I would actually be renovating it on the SketchUp with the old, so I would make it look like I felt like I was doing the renovations myself. Let me just, all right, I'll bring up the latest one. Just that's
60s he wants.
Yep. So this is the Crosley Field.
My man Johnny Bench destroyed that stadium.
Yep. So this is the one.
Riverfront, of course.
Yeah. So here's like so if I just go here, let me just go behind the plate. So yeah. So now the scoreboard here looks all white. That's what I had to have there in order for the game. The game uses real-time scoreboards now. So this is just a signifier to show that these will be real-time parts of the scoreboard. So that kind of needs to be there in case you're wondering. But
this is one of the things I love about baseball is that the stadiums are so different. They all have their unique look to them. And
yes, absolutely.
A hockey rink is essentially all the same cookie cutter.
It is.
Basketball court's a cookie cutter,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, definitely.
Ballpark has personality,
Yes. And the other thing is, and like I said, I was thinking about this all day, but you could do it with hockey, but you can't do this with any other sport because of how it's evolved and everything is changed. Like you couldn't really do it with football because if you took teams from the 40s, they're not going to play the set. Yes. And if you take basketball, well, you have to have the 3-point era, then the non-3-point era. It's a whole different game, literally. You can't do it with any other sport.
Right. Hockey you could, I think, because I don't think there's much of a there is a difference in play over the years,
yes.
but not terribly different. There's not a whole bunch of rule changes that made the game completely different. I mean, it's not like they had 5 guys instead of 6 or, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Well, I think pre-World War II, NHL would have looked much, much different. And I think that would be harder to integrate. But since the original 6 era in 41, 42.
Yeah, that's when they would have to start.
I think it would. I mean,
you could. Yeah,
within reason, you'd be able to compare those teams to now and stuff.
Yep.
Right. Or you just crown the 76, 77 Canadian champs, and we don't even bother.
Easy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, with hockey, the coolest thing is, or the easier thing would be from baseball is there's a lot less teams overall. They had 6 teams for the longest time, until what the 60s or the 70s or whatever.
67, 68.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, even then, into the 90s, they only had 23 teams, I think. So it's not like they had tons of teams like baseball. Baseball had 16 teams right from 1901 on. So at least. So I mean, so yeah, the number of teams would be a lot less. I don't even know how many. I have never even thought about working that out. I won't think about that until I can actually find a way to do it. But
it's just mind blowing. It really.
So yeah, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't mind showing it off because it is kind of neat to show off, some of the stuff.
It's worth showing off. I mean, all this work that's gone into it, and just how amazing it is.
I mean, actually, that I don't even know if I have these.
You deserve all the publicity and kudos, Mike, because this is not something you see every day. It's just not, and you might never see it again. I mean, it's just. And you know what? Because of the work, like Dave was saying, I don't know if you guys saw this quote, but, he's been amazed at your attention to detail. And you have. I mean, you poured everything. This wasn't just firing up a game and playing games and simming games.
Right.
You brought it to life.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just. Do you agree, John? It's like.
Oh, 100%. I'm in awe of everything we're able to see here, and thanks for doing this, Mike. Like, this is
I love it. That's the thing. It's funny because as far as the cards and dice hobby and just this community in general, I'm really kind of new to it. I mean, if you want, I can tell you a little story, just like how I started. I started with OOTP back in like 2000, really. I mean, before that, I was playing like older games like Commodore 64 games and that kind of stuff, Genesis. But my real PC baseball sim was OOTP, and like I'd say 2000-ish or OOTP 3 it was at the time. And from then until about maybe three years ago, I think I really all my whole interaction with the community was just on the OOTP forum. I really never branched out and never really played any other games. And then somehow on YouTube, I just decided I was just walking to work one day and I was like, and I'm going to plug this guy is the lowest lower board gamer. His name's Chris. He's a great guy. And at the time, his name was Stratomatic Delaware. I don't know if you know that by that name.
No.
Anyway, his videos were popping up and he was playing Stratomatic baseball, like doing 1961 Yankees, trying to see if they could break the home run record, right? The race between Maris and
Mantle and
Maris, right? So I just was like, I was just like enthralled, like watching these games, like watching roll the dice. I'm like, my hands started getting itchy. I was like, I think I want to roll some dice here, I'm like, I had never done that. I had never played a cards and dice game up until then I decided to get in. I bought Stratomatic and I started an 86 replay, and I started finding all these channels and Beatles Eternally, and I found Steve Tate and all these other folks, and and then I ended up just getting onto that Discord. And so it's just amazing, like how like the community and everything is just. I'm relatively new to it, So it's just, to me, I'm new. I'm a newbie still, and to come up with all the. And the point is, like, people just like they look at me and they're like, "Geez, Mike, I've only known you for 3 years, and you've only done a few products, but man, you've picked the hardest, ridiculous projects to do, Because my first project with cards and dice was doing the whole 86 season, all the teams, all the games. I did that.
Oh, wow, you did.
So, yep, and it wasn't just cards and dice games I used. I did end up using a lot of different sims and putting everything into Digital Diamond, but it was great. And I finished that. It took me over a year to do that, right? And the Mets beat the Blue Jays in the finals in the World Series. And then I was like, hey, I liked 86. Yeah, no kidding, right, John? So I'll tell you, it went 7 games and it was a walk-off like hit from the Mets. If I remember correctly, I think it was Keith Hernandez. Oh, and then I was like, after that was over, I'm like, well, I guess I got to do 87 now. So now I'm in the middle of an 87 replay, which is on hold right now because of the bash. But I'm already past the All-Star game in 87, so I just started. So yeah, and now I have the bash. And everybody's just like, do you do a project that's just simple ever? So I have my track. That's the thing now. I've kind of I've created a track record for myself now. I don't know if I can keep it up though. You know what I mean? After the bash is over, I might want to just kind of lay low for a little bit and just, just play a few games here and there and just watch some other stuff,
Everybody needs an off season. So,
Oh, yeah. Off season. You need a vacation in Hawaii. This is crazy.
Nah, it's fun. No, but it is a vacation. To me, it's a vacation. The whole thing is a vacation.
It's a labor of love.
It is. It really is. It's just fun. Like, why else would I do it? I mean, why else?
You showed it. I was telling Jamie today.
I'm curious. Okay, so you've got 5,600 and how many games under your belt? There's got to be some really cool moments that have happened with specific players or games or whatever. What do you got?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of, there's one game that was like a football game. It was like 21-17 or something like that. Actually, I have that on that. Well, we try to document these things as much as possible. Here we go. So
Fred Luderis, wow.
Fred Luderis, 22-18. We made Jamie actually put this together. And this is kind of, it's a little crazy, but if you can see, they had the Senators had the 5th inning. There was I think they scored 14 runs, and this is like the breakdown of every at bat from that. But that was a crazy game. Like that 22-18. That's a football score, And then Obviously there's been there's only been 2 no-hitters. There was Steve Carlton pitched one, and then in the last the 32nd bracket, this Charlie Robertson pitched a no-hitter at San Diego, at the Petco Park, and he was a dead ball pitcher. So, but yeah, so those are 2 cool things. And then we had a bunch, and also we tracked several, there was 3 people that hit 3 home runs in the same game, but nobody hit more than that. We had Bobby Mercer, Zach Walters, who's like an Indians player from, I think, 2014 or something. Sorry, I'm always clicking the wrong screen. Steve Garvey, Giancarlo Stanton, we had Chief Myers. And Harmon Killebrew hit 3. Wow. So those are and also can't forget Jim Rice. Jim Rice, he hits the longest home run ever recorded. That's 556-foot home run at Yankee Stadium. You can see the arc. Like, we took that from the game, took a screenshot. This thing went
the wind's blowing out.
Yeah, I actually took an overhead view of that too. Like, I have a blimp view on the game. Like, I have a blimp camera, so it's basically way up top, and you could see the arc and exactly how far it went. It was crazy. 556 feet. I mean, that's one of the deepest stadiums. That first Yankee Stadium, it was so far. Those fences were so long. But so basically in the game, it's gonna, if the guy hits a home run in that, it's just gonna put it for as far as that park, those walls are, and then some. So, and then this is another cool thing. Another cool moment was Lefty Tyler, a pitcher for the Braves. Oh no, he pitched against himself in the 1920 Cubs. They both pitched against each other, and then one of them hit a home run off the other. So the 1916 Lefty Tyler took the 1920 Lefty Tyler deep. Only player to hit off himself, hit a homer off. So we kept that kind of thing, So that's what we made.
You weren't just banging out games.
We're really trying to get the stories and try to get the And honestly, though, the sad thing is that as much as I really love this stuff, and I probably have forgotten way more than I can remember. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm like, I'm always talking to Jay. I'm like, who was that guy on the team that we did that? I'm like, it's just hard to keep. That's why we're trying to document everything, because it's really hard to keep everything in our heads with this many.
You can be forgiven for that, playing so many games.
Well, think about it. I mean, if bracket 1, for instance, bracket 1, we started last June. I think it was a year ago. So how am I supposed to remember what the heck I did? Like, I can't remember what the teams were. I know who the teams
Lucky
were.
I can remember a 3-game series. This is just mind blowing.
So that's some of the stories. I mean, I was able to, just to bring up, but
well, here's your silent partner too, and Jamie, you guys definitely captured the spirit of the thing.
That's
without
it.
a doubt.
Dickie Dunn.
And unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. It has to be. There's not a gamer out there that wouldn't be impressed by this. And boy, I'd like to. We definitely want to get people to start watching your YouTube channel, to look at some of those past stuff. So we got to post that at the end of the show. But
with that in mind, is there a chance we can go through the final 16 teams and maybe talk about how they got to where they are?
I tried to be prepared here, so
John's going to take action. Anybody wants this? We're going to take odds. We're going to play the book.
So, can you see this? Okay, I don't know. Maybe I could zoom in a little bit. We'll just go region by region.
I can make it bigger. Hold on.
No, I just want to make sure that So here we go. So region A. So these brackets are just like it's just like a March Madness bracket. You have 4 regions. This is only 32 teams, but the 64 team bracket, same thing as March Madness. So you have 4 regions, and each region has its own 1 seed, and and that kind of thing. So the region A in the final 32 is as you see it, and you can see the 2000 Orioles.
I still can't believe they beat the Cubs that series. I still can't believe it.
That 1,888 is their seed number overall in the history of baseball. So, and they beat the number 1. They beat the number 1 overall seed. So now they swept them too. So they're playing the 72 Reds first.
Ooh, that'll be tough.
Yep. We're gonna probably get that going maybe tomorrow night. I think we might start that up if Jamie's agreeable. And then we have the 1903 Naps, Cleveland Naps. That's a dead ball team. There we go. And they defeated the '08 Pirates, who was another really good team.
Yes.
And so this is a 7 and 6 seed game. So the 26 Senators also upset the 29 Cubs. So that's another. So these are the 4 teams in this region.
So Marco's in the room probably thinking, sure, that's my Cubs.
Yeah.
That's my Cubs.
Well, the Cubs, hey, don't lose heart. You have the 1910 Cubs still in it. So they're the 27th overall seed, and they play the 66 Giants. They actually beat the 42 Red Sox, who had Ted Williams. So no more Teddy Ball game in the Bash, which is sad.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Yeah, Jamie and I mentioned, even though it doesn't matter, all these teams here, whenever one of them gets eliminated, it's kind of a bummer. Like for us, it's like oh, we watched all this team play, and not, and I'm a Red Sox fan, obviously, but it doesn't matter what team it is. If the Yankees lose, I'm still like, oh, that was a good team to watch. Like I'm bummed out that they're not. You know what I mean?
Attached to the guy.
Yeah.
But then when, you said, when you see that there is no more Ted Williams now, who doesn't want to see Ted Williams?
Right. It's fun.
Always want to see Ted Williams. Yeah.
But at least they lost. Willie Mays kind of kicked his butt. So I mean, you can't argue with Willie Mays either. I mean, I'm not complaining because Willie Mays is in there still. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he's like one of the guys who just. And I'll tell you, in doing this thing, the amount of the players that you learn and all the players. It's just like you learn. These players you're just like you're learning about, and obviously Willie Mays and Ted Williams, and it's great that they're behaving the way they're supposed to. But there's all these other players like that you were like, I'm like, who's this guy? Like, why is he so good? I'm like, oh my god. And then we start researching them and like, oh yeah, look at this guy. Like he did this, and this, and then we find some funny backstories like in his personal life. You know what I mean?
So the further back you go, the more interesting stories. Like Jamie will tell you, I'm a huge Rube Waddell fan. And,
he's great.
The stories, I read a book on him. I mean, the stories are endless. What a nut he was.
Yeah, so Rube Waddell's great. He's a good one. I've learned so many dead ball. I wasn't really much of a dead ball follower, but I'll tell you, I know a whole lot now.
I love it.
So yeah, Gary, no Phillies. Funny story about the Phillies. I think they made the finals 4 times and they lost all of them. So, wow. Yeah, so it's too bad, nobody's going to be booing Santa Claus at these games. So the other one from Region B was the 49 Yankees and the 2008 Cardinals. I think you said, John, that you were rooting for the 2008 Cardinals now. Is that
now that the Jays are out, yes, the 08 Cardinals are my cheering favorite. So
okay.
Let's go Cards.
Yeah, they beat the 69 Orioles. That was kind of an upset there. So
well, the team I rooted for from the beginning is in it, and
who's that?
Like their chances. The 75 Reds, because I'm a general bench. That was my.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I grew up a Yankees fan, but even when they played the Reds in the World Series, my friends hated me because I was rooting for Johnny Bench.
Yep, and they're playing the 17 Giants right now in the next round. So that's a 2 versus 3. That's going to be a good one.
No, it's a tough match.
I mean, these are all good. I mean, most of the teams here are all very deserving to be there.
That was the other thing we were talking about today because people don't realize how good the 27 Pirates were.
Oh, yeah. Well, they lost to the 27 Yankees in the World
Series.
They're on a collision course.
Team ever.
Things go right.
They could face each other. They could in the semifinals. They could face each other.
And what revenge would that be for the Pirates, huh?
Don't even get me started. The stuff that Jamie would be able to do on that one. Oh my god. Oh man, I sometimes I'm like, as soon as when something happens in the Bash, then I'm like, all I can think of is I can almost see what's going on in Jamie's mind.
His wheels get spinning.
Oh yeah, I can tell already. I'm like, I can hear him typing away, like he's probably like already starting to do it.
Yeah. So the mind is going. He's so creative.
So, but anyway, the 27 Pirates have to beat the 82 Padres first. So you never know. That's not a sure thing. So
I mean, look at their seed, 1372. They were seeded.
Yeah, that's it. So they were not too far ahead of the 2000 Orioles. So these two guys are the big upsets, the big teams, the surprise teams that are still in it. One more surprise team was the 72 Royals, but they got kind of smoked by the Yankees. 27 Yankees, what you'd expect. So
that's to get
but hey, it's like
that's
right, for that team. It's like, hey, thanks for coming. That's all they could have hoped for. Hey, thanks for being in there. That's pretty cool that they were in the final 32. And it doesn't matter, if they didn't win it, nobody was expecting them to win it. So
they were on borrowed time. That's a heck of a run.
And then the other funny thing here is the 2022 Braves, which is basically I have just about as much knowledge of the since 2020 or 2018 probably. I have probably about as much knowledge of the plays after 2018 as I do of the dead ball plays. You know, I really didn't. I don't follow modern baseball that much
No,
anymore.
me either. Totally lost. I couldn't
Yeah,
name
it's tough.
one player. I
Yeah,
couldn't name from that
it's
team.
tough. I can't. There's just a lot of things that happen with the game that I don't agree with, and it's just not something I enjoy watching. It's just, but luckily I have these simulations to do, and baseball lives on for me, like in all these projects and all these.
If you put me
replays.
from 98 back, I'm all over it.
Yeah,
and the further back you go, the more I love it. I love it.
And I met Gary Mauro, who's commented a few here. I met him at the last convention a month ago, or last month.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a great guy, unbelievable guy. We had a great time. He showed me some games. Anyway, he even goes way further back. I think he goes back to like the baseball strike in the 80s. And he's like, I don't follow anything after that. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's a long time.
Yeah, he's not alone under that tent.
Yeah, but I was just like, wow, that's even more hardcore than I was. I thought I was hardcore.
Jamie and he used to run a diamond mine league. We started with the late 1800s. So, yeah, we loved it. We went back.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Quite a ways. He ran a fun league. It was really cool.
That's great. So we got the 71 Orioles and the 38 and another Yankee team. So the 38 Yankees and 27 Yankees can actually face each other in the next round if they both.
That pitching staff against the 38 Yankees, very interesting.
Yes. And also, it's just also worth to note that the Yankees, all three teams that made the final 32 all advanced, so they're still all three of them are together. So, whereas other teams that had at least one team that lost, like the Cardinals actually. The 63 and 64 Cardinals are both gone, and the 2008 are the only ones that remain. So,
yeah, I'm surprised none of the old Gas House Gang teams made it from the Cardinals. But
I'm just noticing there's only two modern day baseball teams that are still left in it, right? Only.
Well, what do you consider modern? The 2008, 2022.
Yeah,
would that be? Yeah, to me, like the 82 Padres would still be kind of modern, but it's not really. I know, but it's just because I'm so old.
Well, that's pre-steroid era anyway, but
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
you're right. But this is still a good mix, though. You got the 75, you get 82, you get but most of there's a lot of dead balls.
71 or 38.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Orioles there.
I can't wait to see you play that one.
Oh yeah.
Well, Jim Palmer's my favorite pitcher ever too. So not because he model jockeys. People, that wasn't my thing. No, I love Jim Palmer. I did.
The underwear man. That's all I remember was he was the underwear guy.
Yeah, I know. But he was so good. So good.
Yeah, so this is the bracket. Now it's going to be interesting is when we get Jamie and I get down to kind of the finals and how we gonna we're talking about now just like how do we want to broadcast the finals? Just do one game a night, so it could only be 3 games, it could only be 2, so probably take our time with it, get into the details, why not, right? I mean, this is just fun. Yeah. And why leave anything why not just leave, we should just unturn every stone, uncover everything from just do it the way we want to do it. That's the way I look at it. So
it's so much fun to tune into too. It really is.
I hope so. In our broadcast, they're just completely just open-ended. It's supposed to be just fun. There's no format. I love having people on there. I want to have you on there, Vinny, and you too, John, if you want, because I know we're gonna have tons of broadcasts left. But I just wanted to be able to talk baseball and just shoot the breeze about the players, and it's fun. If you've seen me on any of the other broadcasts with Bernie or Ron, it's just mostly just talking and just having fun. We had Marshall on there. We have a few more guests lined up soon this week, hopefully. More of an OOTP centric.
Marshall was great.
Yeah,
Bernie was great. I like when you have those live guests too.
Yeah. The Marshall was great. I never met him until then. He's a nice guy, really nice guy.
Sorry, I was just getting updated by a text message with the hockey game. So,
what's that? Is that on tonight?
Yes, 4-0.
4-0. Who?
I guess it's Carolina. My friend just texted me 4-0. Ouch.
Yikes.
It's
Yeah,
June. Hockey season's over. Let's go.
Hey, now, don't. I told you this show is no
Well,
bad language.
So, John, what's your hockey team that you've? What's your favorite hockey team?
I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan and have been since 1987.
Oh, so you spared yourself the anguish of a Leafs fan or Ottawa fan. Then, okay,
yeah,
Oh, the Golden Knights are ripping them 4-0.
You know, as a Bruins fan, like the thing they used to say about, maybe it's a Leafs saying or not, but you know, the saying here was in the springtime the Leafs fall.
I have heard that, and I've used it with some of my Leaf loving friends.
I love it. That's a great one. I love that. Such a good saying.
I'm heading up there next year, Mike. I'm going to see John, hopefully George, Jim.
Oh,
McGregor.
nice. You're gonna go to the Hockey Hall of Fame?
I would like to make a trip there.
I mean, can you make it to Toronto if you're in Ottawa? I mean, I don't know how far is Ottawa and Toronto from each other?
You could do anything if you got
a 4-hour drive.
Oh, okay. So yeah, but if you're already up there,
it's not too bad. You just hit a couple highways and you're there.
Yeah, but I would if I was going to visit, I would definitely want to try to make it a point to get there somehow. You know, why not? It's a great place. I was there like years ago. I was there in like 1999 or 98. That was great. That was a good time then. So I'm sure it's probably a lot better now.
It's hands down my favorite sport.
It's a big city to get around. Probably a little too big for me. With 3.5-4 million people. So
it is big.
Here are only about 1 million people, and it's quite spread out, which is nice. There's a lot of green space around Ottawa.
Oh, nice. Very good.
I might not come back. I love that. I like open space, and Oz has been taken away out here. So,
Vinny, you have to bring your nephew with you though when you come up.
If he's coming. That's my buddy. I told you they're thinking about moving here, so we'll see. All right. So now, there's been some whispers about Mike having a story.
Oh God!
Fenway Park. Just a little I heard. I think our audience and John are gonna appreciate this.
I'm sure. Yeah, some people have probably already heard it, but that's okay.
That's all right.
So I'll try to go. I'll try to go. Yeah, I know. All right. Let me just bring up some visual aids since I'm sharing my screen. I'm not going to show them just yet, but I just want to get them ready. So let's give me 1 second. That's not what I want to do. 1 second.
Gary wants you to play one of the commercials.
Oh, then I have to turn the sound on.
Oh, we can't. We get reverb when we get that.
You know, Gary will get plenty of the commercials at the in the next broadcast. It's fine. 1 second. Let me just.
I was gonna say
this episode of Below Replacement Level is brought to you by Bash Balls.
That's such a good. Those are so good. And there's things that we can't. There's things that Jamie's created that I can't play that I wish I could. But there's you know, just because we don't want to, you know. We don't want to ruffle feathers, or we don't want people to get offended. So it's fine, and that's
Jamie,
fine. But it's our own thing.
Yeah, I got.
Gary knows what I'm talking about.
I'm sure. So now I'm going on Discord, and I want to see them all.
Oh, we can show. Yeah, you guys might like it.
John, we'll get John on.
I'm sure you guys can enjoy it.
Oh,
but anyway, so all right. Well, let me talk about the. So everybody, as I mentioned, I've been an OOTP for a long time. Obviously, I've been there. Creating the ballparks, creating the uniforms since ballparks I've been working on since they went to 3D in about 2015-ish around there. And I swear to God, there was probably from 2015 to 2022 or 2021. I probably didn't play a game of OOTP. I think I was just working on parks. Like I was on the beta team, and I would test the game. But the only thing I would do is I'd work on parks, I'd build parks, and I'd test them in the game. Does this work in the game? Yeah, that was my testing. So anyway, I was pretty active on the forum for OOTP, and so that I would post all my parks there, and people love them, and or whatever else, and the uniforms and whatever else. So everybody kind of knew who I was. And so I'd say around 2022 or it's probably around 2022, maybe 3-4 years ago. I started getting these messages, these direct messages on the OOTP forum. It was just from a guy, and I don't want to say his screen name, but it was from someone I would have never. I don't know. It was just a screen name. It was like someone saying, "Hey, I'm Billy Joe," or whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it says, hey, I really like your work on the ballparks. Like, I'd really like to give you some Red Sox tickets. If, I'm like, if I know I see you're in the Boston area. It's like, would you like to go to the Red Sox game? I have some tickets I could give you as a thank you. I'm like, oh, that's nice. But I'm like, I don't really know who you are. And like, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm kind of, I kind of poo poo it a little bit. I'm like, oh, thanks. I appreciate it, but I'm okay. Like,
Might
I
have
don't know
thought
who
you
this
were
guy is.
cute. You start thinking, hey, maybe
Yeah,
cute. Yeah.
I always think, with the internet these days, I'm kind of
Yeah.
like, I always think scam first, even
Yeah.
though it's an OOTP board. And it's like, who's going to come on? I mean, who's going to do that? But you never know.
No.
So I was like, all right. So, I was like, oh, thanks a lot, but I'm kind of busy. I can't do it. And then I kind of like, he went away. And then I think the next year around opening day, there's another, or sometime during, hey, how you doing? It's me again. I still have the tickets I can give you. I'd really like to give them to you as a thank you for doing all this work. And I'm like, and I'm still kind of like, I don't know who this guy is. He says I think he said he worked for the Red Sox or whatever. I was like, lost Vinny.
Oh, there we are.
There he is.
That was
You're
quick.
there. Did you lose your powers? Oh no.
Had to be for a second. Yeah. Like I
Okay.
said, I have an automatic generator, but it kicks on after the power's out for
wow.
a minute.
All right. Well, so just to continue, this went on for a couple of years. Like he kept coming, like maybe once, twice, from what I can remember.
Wow.
And every time I'm like, I'm kind of like, I come up on the news. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be on the Cape this week, or that I'm going, whatever it is. So, and it was just kind of like, all right, but it was like persistent, like once a year, maybe once or twice. And last year, it was towards the end of last season, and I got another one saying, hey, I got tickets. And I'm like, oh, I'd really like to, but I can't. I broke my fingers or whatever. I kind of gave him an excuse when I actually really did, but I gave him that as an excuse. And then he's like, okay. I was like, and then I said, like, oh, maybe next year, right? I said, maybe next year. Right? Now, so then, like a week before opening day this year, I get a thing that says, hey, it's next year. It's like, he's like, I have 4 tickets to the Red Sox game, like some good seats if you're interested for opening day. I'm like, opening day? How the heck can he give me opening day 4 seats? I'm like, oh man. I was like, I'm still kind of like poo pooing. I'm like, still like, I don't know, but I mean, I am intrigued at this point. This is a week before opening day, and then the day before opening day, he sends me one of the things saying, I still have these tickets for you. I'm like, were you able to make it? And I'm like, how the hell does he have 4 tickets for opening day still reserved for me? How is he not giving these away to somebody else or take it? You know what I mean? It's like, I haven't given him an answer, and it's the day before opening day, and he's still, I'm like, so I finally messaged him back. It's like, I was like, how do you have these tickets still waiting for me? Like in 4 tickets, opening day, Red Sox, Fenway Park. It's like, how do you have that? Like, how do you, I was just confused, I was like, all right. And then he finally writes me back. He says, oh, I'm sorry. I guess I should have introduced myself. I'm John Henry of the Boston Red Sox. I'm like, oh my God, like, get out of here. I'm like, he's John, and at the time I didn't know that he actually he plays OOTP. Like, I
That's
didn't realize
incredible.
this. But Jamie seemed to know, because I was telling Jamie this whole story as it was coming the day before the opening day. And Jamie, and before I knew who it was, Jamie's like, oh, who knows? It could be John Henry. He said that. Like, he called it. And I was like, that would be funny. I'm like, no. But then, I was like, even when he said he was John Henry, I was like, he could just be bullshit, BSing me, So, but then and that same message, he said, I've been a big fan of baseball sims my whole life. I've been playing APA since the 60s.
Wow.
He's like, and this and that. He's like, I really enjoy what you're doing I enjoy the parks that you build. And I really think it's great that you offer this up for nothing. And you're just very giving with the community and all that stuff. Right. He's like, if you want these tickets, he said, you can contact my assistant. So-and-so gave me the assistant's name, and here's a phone number you can call her at. And I'm like, okay, well, I got a phone number now. At least I can like verify it. And I have a buddy, and a whole other story is I have a buddy that works at Fenway Park. He started out on the grounds crew like 20 something years ago. And he's famous for getting into a fight in the bullpen with Jeff Nelson and Kareem Garcia in 2003. So I don't know if you remember that, Vinny. And I think it was the playoff game in 2003. I think it was the playoff game between the Yankees and Red Sox. Like, Jeff Nelson was in the bullpen, and he was my buddy was working there. He's like a bullpen attendant for the visiting team. But something, I think it was the same game where Don Zimmer got tossed to the ground by Pedro.
Yeah.
And like, so whatever was going on, like my buddy's in there he's working and he's out there waving a towel in the Yankees bullpen when something happened with the Red Sox, like a positive thing. And so I guess Jeff Nelson must have said something to him. And then next thing you know, and on the broadcast, I'm watching this at a bar with my friends, and you see my buddy Paul getting his ass beat by
Jeff Nelson's a big dude.
Well, yeah, and then Paul's a big dude. He's like 6'6" or something. You know,
Oh, really?
Big guy, yeah. But anyway, but you see them getting separated. The cops like, and you know, the broadcast like, oh, it's a fan getting arrested. I'm like, he's not a fan. That guy works there. Anyway, anyway, I call him because he still works for the Red Sox, and he's not doing that anymore. But he's doing other stuff. And I said, Paul, like, just a question. Do you know any names of John Henry's assistants by any chance? And he's like, oh yeah, like Sylvia was her name. Like Sylvia? I'm like, oh my God, that's the name he gave me. I'm like, that's gotta be him. You know, it's like that worked, it checks out. So I told him the story. He's like, oh man, definitely call. I'm like, all right. So here we are. It's the night. It's the night before opening day, and I find out he has the tickets, and it's like after 8 o'clock. So I'm like, I'm not calling it now. It's after 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna call the number now. I'll have to call first thing in the morning. So I messaged John Henry back, and I'm like, first thing I'm like, I can't believe that. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you. I was like, I didn't mean to be blowing you off for 3 years, like for the tickets. I was like, I apologize, you know. And I think I could definitely get at least one other person to go. So I'll give Sylvia a call in the morning first thing. And then, I didn't hear anything back, but he had been messaging me like back and forth like 3 or 4 times that day. So he really wanted to give me the tickets.
Wow.
So then I'm thinking all night, I'm like, I'm going to call her in the morning. She's not going to know who I am. I'm like, it's just going to be like, I don't know, that's just what I was thinking. So 8 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock in the morning comes out. As soon as it turns 8 o'clock, I'm like dialing the number. I'm like, and she's like, hello, this is so-and-so. And I'm like, hi, my name's Mike Silva, and I talked to John Henry yesterday, and he said I could call to arrange for some tickets for today. And she's like, oh, hi, Mike, how are you? She's like, wow. It was so nice. I've been waiting for you to call me. It's like, I was going to ask John if he had your number to see if I could call you to get the, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I'm just like, and I'm like, how is this happening? So, and she's like, did he tell you where the seats are? I'm like, no. I'm like, he's like, well, they're in the first row adjacent to the Red Sox dugout. She's like, food and beverages are complimentary. You have a server, I'm like, everything she's saying, I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm just saying that. I'm like, I'm just laughing. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe this. I felt like I just like won the lottery,
Good for you.
So, yeah. And she sent me all the ticket information. She did the thing on the ballpark app, I guess, which, so she transferred me the tickets. She's like, we're also going to give you, in case it rains, it was supposed to rain earlier. She's like, in case it rains, she's like, I'm going to give you passes to the indoor restaurant. You can hang out there if you want during the, pregame, whatever it is. It was really nice. It was so nice. Did
you ask about taking batting practice?
No. So anyway, yeah. So basically, so then I'm like, shit. I'm like, sorry for cursing. I was like, crap. I was like, I gotta call. I gotta get 3 other people to go to the game. It's like the day of the game here, So I called my brother. I told my brother the day before, and he's like, oh, you gotta call. He's like, you can't not call. I was like, that's stupid if you didn't call. So he was like pushing me to do it. So I called him like, I'm Kenny, it's legit. Let's go. I'm like, well, I was like, are you in? He's like, yeah, I'm off today. I'm like, I happen to be off anyway because it was Good Friday. It was Good Friday, so I happen to have the day off from work because the stock market's closed. So I was like, great. I was like, this is perfect. So he's like, all right, I'll pick you up at South Station in Boston. I was like, yeah, because that's why I'm taking the train, and he picks me up, and we go to the game, and we get there like an hour before the game time, and the festivities haven't started yet. But this is opening day. I've never been to opening days, but they have all the people on the field, and they had the 1980, as luck would have it, the 40th anniversary of the 86 Red Sox was that they were having all the 86 Red Sox. That's like right in my wheelhouse. That's I was 10 years old at that time, So I'm like, this is amazing. They had the 86 Red Sox out in left field.
Wait, time out. Earlier in the show, you said you were old, and you were 10 and 86, and you're considered old. But what the heck am I, a relic?
I'm going to be 50 in a few days, in like 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Oh, baby. Want to trade?
We're closer in age, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm a 77 birthday, so.
Oh wow, okay. So you're not but you just happen to have a lot less gray hair than I do, and probably more.
Oh, it's there. I think I hide it well.
Oh my goodness,
that's interesting. That's good. There must be something in the Canadian water or something.
Maybe it's the beer.
But yeah. So, but anyway, so we go to the. Sorry, I don't want to just. can digress, but I just want to say, so we go to the game, we get to the park, and we're walking through just like we go in the gate just like anybody else, and we walk up to the, I'm looking for, it says dugout box 29 was on the ticket, right? So we're walking in, I'm like, I see field box 29. I'm like, that's like right at the edge of the, we're walking through the crowd and they see the usher. I'm like, is this dugout box? You know what dugout box 29? He's like, yeah, it's right here. He's like, what row are you in? I'm like, 1. And he's like, okay, what seat you in? I'm like, 1 through 4. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, here, follow me. He's like, he clears everybody out of the way. He's like, all right, coming through. Like it's just so basically it's just me and my brother because we couldn't find 2 other guys, so we had 2 extra seats. So it was me and my brother.
Couldn't.
And I told him, I was like, is that okay? It's just I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get 4 tickets. So if you want to keep the other 2, that's fine. It's like, oh no, don't worry about it. You could find someone. Like the assistant was like, you can find someone, trust me. So anyway, that's another story. But so anyway, the guy leads us down there. He wipes off the seat because it had rained a little early. And here we are sitting first row, right next to the dugout, and we're just like, this is like, my brother's like, how is this? How do you know John? How does John Henry know you? How did you get because he has no idea about my gaming. He doesn't know what I do. None of my friends or anything are interested in any of this stuff. My family, you know what I mean? Right. Nobody knows, and I don't even bother telling them because it's just like, they know I play video games, like or I did, but they don't know that I do. This is my hobby. This is what I do at nighttime before I go to bed, whatever. So anyway, he's like, what? So I had to kind of give him a quick rundown of the whole story. But anyway, so, he's always like, this is unbelievable. So let me just show you. So I'm sitting there taking the pictures. I'm like, just taking video. I'm like, and there's people on the field, but there's nothing started yet. None of the ceremonies. I can see, there's the mayor of Boston. There's the governor. They're all just milling around. The Red Sox dugout it's empty so far. People kind of filtering out from the clubhouse. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And I see people here. I see this so-and-so. and I'm texting my wife, like, oh, look at these seats, And then all of a sudden my brother like elbows me, like we're sitting down. He's like, oh, he's like, hey, look, he's like, look, he's pointing right in front of me. I look up, John Henry's standing there. And he's like, are you Mike? I'm like, yeah. Like I stood up and I shook his hand. I was like, thank you for the seats. He's like, I can't. He's like, that's so great to meet you. He's like, I love the stuff that you're doing for OOTP and everything. And I'm like, oh my God. So, and I was like, thanks so much for the seats. This is great. This is amazing. And I was like, hey, this is my brother, Kenny. Like, Kenny, this is, John Henry. And he turns to my brother. He's like, this guy, he points to me. He's like, this guy creates the most amazing ballparks for this game. He's like, it's amazing stuff he does. Like he's talking up me to my brother. Like, my brother's wow. Like, okay, yeah. Okay. So, and then I'm like, oh, do you mind? I was like, are you going to sit here? Or are you going to sit in the seats? He's like, oh no. He's like, no, I never sit down here. He's like, and I know why now. So, but he sits down there, so I'm like, okay. I was like, do you mind if I get a picture with you? So I stood up, he's on the other side of the wall, like on the warning track there. And, I'm right in front of him and there's a gate right there. He's like, no, come on out. He's like, so my brother and I, he's like, yeah. So he brings us, we walk onto the field, like right in front of the dugout, Red Sox dugout. And, my brother gets, I'll show you. Let me just
see, there's some things in life that'll always make you feel like
one second. Oh, wait. Oh, come on, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. So, okay. So here's the picture of me and John Henry. So don't mind my wrinkled clothes. I just didn't know what to throw on. I was just all like kind of thing. So, you can see there's people on the field, and so John Henry, he's actually a great guy. I'm honestly nice guy.
What a backdrop to that.
So yeah,
that's one of my favorite things of ballparks is Fenway's Wall.
Yep, and then
wow.
What's this other one? Oh, so he's talking. We're talking, and while we're talking about OOTP the whole time, he's talking about how he likes the game and this and that, and that's actually incredible. And some of the stuff, and then this is a video. Hold on a second.
Just a normal guy.
So my brother took this video. Hold on a second. My brother took this video. This is Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan's in the wheelchair. He's like a Red Sox manager. So this is the backdrop. They're introducing the Red Sox players coming out of the dugout for opening day, right? So they're introduced as they're being introduced. Like I'm talking to John Henry about out of the park baseball. This is my brother who's making this video, and he's just like, this is ridiculous. Why? Oh. There I am. Look at the Red Sox coming out. Look at they're being introduced. My brother's, he can't hear it probably, but he's like, this is ridiculous. So look, there I am talking.
Unbelievable.
There's his
Good.
wife right there.
Good
Yeah,
for you,
so-
Mike.
So that's basically what I was doing. And then we would talk for quite a bit of time, you know, and we'd look up and like clap our hands every once in a while, like when they would announce a guy. But then like his wife came by, she was like tugging him by the jacket, say, John, we gotta go. We have to do this or that or whatever it is, some other thing they had to do. He's like, oh, I have to go do an interview or something. So like she had to pull him away from talking to me. It was like I felt like I was like, I can't believe he's like a fan of me. Like, but it wasn't even that. It was the thing I really enjoyed was the fact that the thing I really appreciated was the fact that he is just like us. Like he likes to play these games and he likes to, you know, he enjoys these, you know, it doesn't matter that he's worth $7 billion.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I mean, he likes these games and he's into the hobby, and it just transcends anything. Like we couldn't be any more different, like the two of us.
All right,
But,
Sean, all I'm going to ask you to do is curb the language. That's all. I'm not
And
sure.
then finally, I'll just end it. So basically, that was a great time. So he went his way, I went my way. During the game, I'll just show you another picture. This is my seat right here, and there's Alex Cora managing the game right next to me, and
Wow.
Jason Varitek right behind him. So that's Alex Cora, and so basically he was right there the whole time. He's adjusting his fly, and I'm like sitting there. My brother's on the other side of me, and he's sitting right there the whole game. And I'm talking to my brother like about the game and stuff. Like something happened. I think the Padres player hit a ball into the sun in center field. The center fielder couldn't see it, so the ball fell, and the guy ended up at third base. So I was talking to my brother. I'm like, I wonder if that's gonna be like an error in a single or a double in error. And then all of a sudden, Alex Cora's like, no, that's a triple all the way. You know, there's no way it wouldn't have been. You know, he's just talking to me like it's like I'm just sitting there, like he's just with a buddy of mine. You know, he's just like we're talking. You know, he's telling me why it's not an error and all this stuff, and it's amazing. You know, and then he ended up giving me a ball. Like I was like, you know, my brother. I said, hey, my brother's got a kid that you know at home. It's like if someone rolls you a ball, you mind just giving it to me? And I'll just give it to him. And he's like, yeah. So he gives me the ball during the game. And then the coolest thing at the end of the game, the Red Sox actually won this game, believe it or not. At the end of the game, like when they were coming out, they went out there and did their hand high fives. And when he was coming off, I gave him a fist bump. It was pretty cool.
So my buddy Tad, it's awesome story. Tad, the only thing that'll make it better is if Johnny Bench was there.
That's
Yeah.
honestly, that's
I'm
probably
so
one of the best stories
happy
I've ever
for you.
heard.
Right?
That's awesome.
Right.
And then the coolest thing that and then the funny thing is after all this, so then after all that, I mentioned I had 2 seats left. So I was on Facebook at the game, you know, during the game, like, oh, just checking. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I was like, and I saw a buddy of mine that I grew up with, like, was there at the game, and he was there with another guy I knew that I grew up with, like, from the same hometown. And so I texted him. I was like, hey, I was like, you're at the game. Who you with? And he's like, oh, it's just me and Jason. I'm like, oh, just the 2 of you? I'm like, come on. I was like, come down here. I got 2 seats. I'm right next to the dugout. And they're like, get out of here. I'm like, no, come down. So I'm like, okay, we'll be right down there. So, you know, so I told the security guy, I'm like, hey, you know, I got extra 2 seats here, and I got 2 buddies that are up, you know, up on the Sam Adams deck or whatever. I was like, they're gonna come down, and he's like, oh yeah, that's fine. So then I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden I get a text like, hey, they're not letting us down. So they were stuck up at the end of the aisle there where the usher was. So I was like, I just go to the security guy. I'm like, hey, my 2 buddies are there. Do you mind, you know, can you see if you can let the usher let them down? So the guy he just sticks his hand up. He motions to the usher. He sticks his hand up, and he's like, it's a motion. And then they let my 2 friends come
Sure,
in.
you could do anything you want. You're in the owner's box.
So the coolest thing was like they sit down like, oh, this is great. Like, you know, this is amazing. Like, I'm like, how'd you get these seats? I'm like, and then I was like, hey, first I was like, hey guys, what's going on? I was like, hey, order whatever you want. You can get food, you can get beer, whatever you want. Like, you know, I was like, it was the coolest thing to say that, you know. I'm like, who am I to be saying that?
What do you think of my gaming now, boys?
Yeah, no, but they didn't know either. So they're like,
right.
I had to tell them. I was like, all I told them, I was like, I was tired. I was like, it's a long story, trust me. But it's freaking, but they're like, this is our 20th. We go to opening day every year. This is our 20th opening day. I was like, well, I hope it's one of the better ones then. This is pretty cool, right? So we had a blast. And
Lando says you got more to tell.
Oh no, yeah,
You forgot the Uraldo. He says,
yeah,
Arnold.
Aroldis Chapman. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I kind of felt stupid here, but in the eighth inning, I think it was the eighth inning. I think I forget what happened. The situation happened. I kind of turned to Cora and I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna bring in Chapman, right?" He's like, "Yeah, maybe." He's like, "Maybe." It was kind of an obvious Chapman situation. He was like,
Hey,
"Yeah."
why don't you shift that right fielder over?
I didn't want to start getting too mouthy with it. I was like, he's probably, but I mean, I think he was being nice to me just because I was,
Where you were sitting.
I was in the owners. I was in
There
the
you
owners.
go. There you go. Oh, that is classic stuff.
Imagine Cora got tossed and they said, Mike,
But then he got, well, yeah, oh yeah, right. But then the funniest thing was the fact that the very next day, the fans at the game were chanting for John Henry to sell the team. And also, like a week later, Alex Cora gets fired, or maybe 2 weeks later, whatever it was. So it was just funny. So it was just interesting. I was like, because they kept losing. I was like, I felt like, so this is the thing. So just to wrap this up, after this whole great day, of course, I take the train home, from Boston. So, I'm like back on the train. I'm like, well, I'm right back to where I was. I'm enough of this inflated ego thing. So I'm on the train. I messaged John Henry on the message board. I was like, hey, I just wanted to write him a nice thank you and really appreciate. But it was like I told him it was the best baseball viewing experience of my life, and it was just the best sports experience of my life. And I said I was sorry about again, not sorry about blowing him off for 3 or 4 years every time he's came to me, and I just didn't want to. I just wasn't sure. So anyway, and then he wrote me back almost right away, and he's like, hey, it was a great day. It was really, really Sox won. It was a good game. He's like, don't even worry about being, cautious. He's like, it's with all the scams out there, it's completely understandable. And he's like, but we know each other now. So he's like, here's my email. He's like, and maybe we'll be able to chat sometimes about the hobby and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, they gave me his email address. I'm like, this is crazy.
So that translates. So John, do you know what that translates to? What Mike's saying?
What's
He's
that?
going to get John Henry on our show.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
oh, could you imagine?
Yeah, I don't.
But honestly,
to be honest with
see
you,
if you could get him on one of your best shows.
No. Funny enough,
probably
he did.
love
He
it
has
because it's OOTP.
He did mention the bash and that he thought it was a great project. So he was following that
on in the semifinals. You never know.
Yeah.
The worst
Imagine
thing
that.
Mike is no.
Maybe John Henry's watching right now. He's watching us. Hey,
you don't know me.
No,
but even if he said no, you would understand. The guy's super busy. But to ask
he's
him,
busy. That's why the first thing I asked him was like, how do you even have time to play these games? Like, how do you even have time? He's like, well, I don't have a lot of free time, but when I do, I really like to. I like to spend it working on this. So that was just an amazing,
good for you.
So now, like all the sports radio I put on, they're all talking about how Henry he sucks and fire, he should sell the team. I'm like, you can't talk about my boy that way. I'll tell you, like when I just know, I mean, I told him, I was like, look, I really love the fact since you bought the team, the Red Sox have won four World Series. Like, how can anybody complain?
Yeah,
what I mean? And really, when you think about it, just a little perspective could go a long way. But I was falling into that trap. I was like, hey, this guy, to me, he owns multiple franchises, multiple different sporting things. It doesn't seem like he really he's fully into the Red Sox. He's fully invested. I can see that. But I'll tell you, after meeting him and just having it seemed like a really nice guy, just talking to him, and just the fact that he likes our hobby, he does the same. He's into the same thing. It's hard to not like him. It's hard to just not like.
No, that's a genuine person, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. Really good for you, Mike. And you know what? You deserve it for what you did for this. It's a small reward. No, it's a big reward for you because that's your team.
Man, I'll tell you.
You got to have an experience of a lifetime.
Dude, also I got to see all the 86 Red Sox guys walk by. Wade Boggs, I got pictures. I wish I could have met some of them, but man, I'll tell you, I saw most of them looked a little on the rough side too, but Wade Boggs looked pretty good. But a lot of those guys, I'm like, oh my God, like that's Sammy Stewart. Like that's Marty Barrett. Holy shit. I'm like, anyway, so that's really that's the story in a nutshell. Sorry if I went over.
No, are you kidding me?
It was worth
the best stories I've heard. Yeah, and there were a lot of comments in the chat. People appreciate it. That is good stuff.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I like that story because I feel like it really puts our hobby in the spotlight a little bit, just because it just shows you that there are people that a lot of people like to play, and it's not just it's not just us, little niche group of people. You know, there are probably a lot of other people out there that enjoy playing these games.
So the other thing you could ask him is maybe they could have a convention and hold it at Fenway Park.
Ooh.
Right in the box, yeah, we'll have or right on the field. Yeah,
Right. We all played baseball only. We play all over the field.
So, Vinny,
man,
that's one thing. Yeah, I just want to say I was the convention was great this year, but you were sorely missed there. I really wish you could have been there.
I'm sure 2 or 3 people might have told you that.
No.
But it's okay. And like I was telling Jamie, I think I said it on one of the shows, John, that the timing ended up not being right either because we were going through a lot here. I mean, praise God, she's been doing phenomenal.
That's so good.
4 weeks in a row, and me and my wife are like, okay, we're doing great.
Oh, it's great. No, right, exactly. So, I understand that. But it was just, the first a year ago when we were there all day, that was just a really good time. I was looking forward to it, but maybe next year.
It was. So, I'm not opposed to it, but the dynamics of things are going to have to change. So, and I don't know if they will, but that's next year.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow's.
You never know. You never know what next year will bring. Right? So you never know.
Not at all. Not at all. But I did miss a lot of people. I can't even name them all. But we'll see.
Well, maybe we'll be able to get together some other time. Something else.
I mean, it's Boston. You're not like you're up in in Australia.
Well, it'd be
I'm
great
going to Canada.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not. Yeah, Jamie would have the longest trek, but you have to get him up here too. Yeah.
I've never been to Boston, so Hey,
oh no, you got to come down. You got to
come down. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I just filed for a birth certificate because my wife can't find mine. Then I'm gonna have to file for my daughter's, and then I can get my passport and travel.
Actually, that's my problem. I lost my social security card somehow, so I have to get a new one of those before. I don't even have the real ID yet, so I still have to get the real ID.
Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that.
So,
So I just filed for it yesterday, and they say it takes about 30 to 90 days. So, but I definitely want to do it. My wife's all about me heading up to Canada.
Yeah,
I love long drives by myself. I know my wife listens in sometime, not because of you, darling. I do my best thinking. I don't know. I like being alone at times. I'm sure we could all relate to. But then again, all of us are a little introverted in this hobby, I think.
Oh yeah.
So, but my wife.
I'll tell you, this is after being an OOTP. I'm not saying OOTP, nothing against them, or just the community in general. But that community was just strictly on the message board. I never talked to anybody face to face from OOTP until after I met all you guys, all this community here, which is much more open as far as to talking and podcasts and stuff. People want to talk to people that enjoy the same thing. Yeah. So OOTP is I'm trying to get some people from OOTP onto my show to talk about the bash and just have an OOTP flavor and have some people talk about the game and stuff. And some people are just kind of like a little shy, and that's fine. But it just seems like as far as and we're all, like you said, we're all introverted in some way, shape, or form. And especially to do this hobby, it's mostly a solo hobby for the most part, right?
Yes.
So, but there's nothing wrong with that. But
that's 100%, Andy. 100%. That's just the way I think.
Yeah, long drives. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you feed them a little bit about what they're into first. Maybe get 1 or 2 people. Then those 1 or 2 tell 1 or 2 more, and then it'll grow. And then like John, he played console games. He was a video gamer. Then all of a sudden, he moved into the board game. Look, Dave Gardner, right? No doubt, our biggest podcaster for our hobby.
Yeah,
he was a computer guy.
Yeah.
Like
I was a computer guy. Yeah,
and then he picked up cards and dice. It's not long ago, not in my timeline anyway. And now he just I don't think he plays much computer stuff.
No,
loves rolling dice.
I mean, I think the computer stuff is really, as it should. It's really helping a lot of companions and things like that, helping the cards and dice. I think the gaming by allowing people to input stats and input the game results on the computer and let it sit. That way, people can have their single season replays and also be able to simulate the rest of the season by let the computer do all that stuff. Right. So that part helps.
Right.
Yeah. So Gary Mauer, who I met, he actually turned me on to the Solitaire Pro Football, which I bought.
What a good game.
Oh man, I printed out all the stuff finally, and I have all the fast action cards. So I got to settle down and give myself some time to play a game. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow.
That was the longest. I ordered 2 sets of action cards, and I had to print them and cut them. And I'm like, what was I thinking? But once it was done, I broke it out. It's a good game. And Mike Healy, wonderful guy.
Oh yeah, it was easy to deal with that.
Guy.
At first, I was like, oh, I have to send him the payment first, and then let him know. Okay, whatever. It's just a little different thing, but that's fine.
And he charges pennies, so
it's nothing.
You know, you get scammed. You got scammed for $20.
No,
but what happens is he doesn't scam you, and you end up spending $150.
It's real. I really enjoyed playing that at the convention. And there's I also won the shootout hockey too, so that was actually awesome. Have you played that shootout hockey?
I had played it for a long time. I ended up giving it a lot. I gave it away to Joe Cards.
Oh, cool.
He liked it, so.
I won it. So I mean, it was one of the raffle prize. So I was happy. That was a game I was thinking about getting anyway, just because what the hell.
Well, for me, Mike, the game I enjoy most in hockey, and it's as fast as shootout, is 49 highlights.
Oh, 49. Oh, you know, that's the other one I want to try to get into that. I saw you mention that on Facebook, I think. You said that's the best one, right?
I think it is. John has a bunch coming to him.
I'm still waiting for my copy to show up. It's somewhere in transit.
So, yeah. Getting to Canada is it can be troublesome sometimes. I heard.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
But I love
expensive as well.
I love it. It plays quick. It plays smooth. It's reasonable, believable stats, however you want to word it. And, like I tell people, if you want exact stats, go read the box scores.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So, but I think it's great. And Grant's great to deal with. I'm waiting for the components to come in.
So, Vinny, what's your go-to hockey season? If you or maybe maybe
the season.
Oh yeah, if you had to pick a season that you would be your favorite season or most nostalgic, which one would you think it would be? Would it be the 70s?
Yes. 74, 75.
74, 75?
Yeah,
for the Canadians.
The Bruins were great. Well, the Canadians were great. The Bruins were great. The Flyers won their first cup.
Oh, okay.
The Sabres were still good. There was a bunch of good teams. I believe the Kings were still good.
I'm trying to gauge, and John, the same with you. You might be, since you're around my age. Would it be in the 80s sometime, or what would be your favorite season?
Kind of varies. The one I'm playing right now is with Hockey Blast, and I'm replaying the 1992-93 NHL season. And similar to what you were talking about with your 86 baseball, I'm playing every single game.
Oh wow! Yeah, nice. That's awesome.
I just want to address something. Hold on, because Rob, who I really enjoy, he comes on a lot. It's great to see Vinny on here. It's mine and John's show. I think they
think it's my show.
Yeah.
Every other night.
That's what I think.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to bogart your show.
No, this was my.
Anyway, I'm playing the 92-93 season because I want to rewrite history. Being a Penguins fan, they were robbed of a three-peat because of David Volek, and I'm biting my tongue.
Yeah,
using profanity.
Right. Volek, oh my God, on the Islanders, right?
Yeah. A decimated Islanders team. Pierre Turgeon was hurt from the previous round when Dale Hunter smashed him into the boards.
That's right. That was the one where you had the game winner, and then Dale Hunter railed him against the boards after.
Yeah,
right?
And the Islanders behind Glenn Healy, or in front of Glenn Healy, they just
Glenn Healy.
For whatever reason, the Penguins just had a terrible series.
Wasn't Dale Hunter the Lady Bing winner one year?
Never.
Oh God! Him and Chris Nyland, they were fighting for it.
My boy Caulfield just won it. Everybody's texting, "Oh, Caulfield won it." Yeah.
Did he win it?
And Suzuki won the Selke. I mean, it's a nice.
Wow. That's good.
I'm sure
the Canadians had a hell of a season. So
yeah, we did.
We did.
I mean, honestly, I thought they were going to win. Honestly, I really thought it was going to be them and the Avalanche in the finals.
Well, they got beat up.
Yeah, no, that's what happens. Attrition. It's attrition, man. It's a war of attrition. That's what it really is. I mean, look at Carolina.
Exposed.
Carolina's played the fewest games by far, and they're healthy. I mean, they're not as beat up as everybody else, and they're kind of, and their style of play is kind of crazy. We could talk hockey all. I I love hockey. I can watch as many hockey games as as I can possibly get. I can't. It's just great.
They just stormed back. It's 4-3.
So what's your go-to season then, Mike, for hockey? If you were to pick one.
Well,
Yeah, what would yours be?
I like first of all, there's a couple. I like the 88-89 season with the Bruins and the Stanley Cup. Was it 88-89? Yeah, I can't. I always get confused with the. I just remember 88.
I have that.
88 and 90. They both went to the Cup. They lost to the Oilers both times.
That's right.
What was the Tim Thomas season? I don't know.
Oh, that was 2011. That's my favorite. But I'm not. When I pick a season, I still think I'm not really much of a modern. Even in hockey, I don't really. Maybe it's just because there's so many teams, and back in the 80s is a little bit more manageable. But the other season I really love and it's because of my Sega Genesis game, is the 93-94 season, because that's from NHL 94. Because I played so much NHL 94 that I knew every player that was on the so I was just seeing all those players.
Isn't that the version when you hit a guy hard, he cracked his head open?
Yeah. Make his head bleed. Yeah. That was made famous from the movie Swingers there. And he's like, hey, yeah. They were playing 94. He's like, look, I'll make Gretzky's head bleed.
Roenick made Gretzky bleed or something like that.
Yeah. He's like, watch, I'll make Gretzky's head bleed. Watch this.
Yeah, right. They got rid of that fast. But me and my friends used to play. That's all we wanted to do was crack each other's heads open.
But for me, that's like my nostalgia. These replays for me are purely about nostalgia, really. I just love this. It just reminds me of watching the games and handling the hockey cards, the baseball cards, and just remember seeing the guys' names, and even like the no-name guys. Look at I don't know, Doug Smale. Like, remember the Doug Smale guy? Something.
Winnipeg.
Is it Dano?
I got a Bruins guy for Alan Peterson.
Oh, Alan Peterson. Yeah, I called him Lurch. He was like Lurch from in the Adams Family. There, he was like this big, tall, lanky guy.
And he used to spell it ALLAIN.
No, was it? No. I think it was ALLEN.
Oh no, not even.
I think it was
ALLIN. Well, I know
his last name.
He was number 41. He was number 41. I know that.
Yeah.
Me and Dave used to talk about this. That's the special thing about cards and dice. So I cut my teeth with Strat. The first hockey game I ever had was Strat. First edition. I used to write letters to Hal. I was like 14 years old. Finally comes out. 77, 78 season. There's no Bobby Orr.
Oh, right.
I'm like, and I told you, I might be a Canadians fan, but Bobby Orr to me is like maybe even more than he is to Boston fans. Just an incredible guy, incredible player. When I finally got to hold a card. Now, don't get me wrong. When I held Guy Lafleur's card, it was like, wow. So that's the nostalgia for me. When you get to hold these players in your hand, you just feel like they're really in front of you. Like, I can't describe it, but yeah, it's incredible. So
yeah, it's amazing. It's just Bobby Orr. I mean, I think he revolutionized hockey. He really spread hockey to all places. Like, he brought hockey to life in Boston. I know that. But it's the amazing thing is I watch the Bruins games obviously all the time, and when they go on these Canadian trips, like up to like Edmonton or up to Ottawa or up to and those places, there's so many Bruins jerseys in the stands, and most of them aren't from because they're from Boston. A lot of them are Canadian, and maybe John, but a lot of Canadian fans. They're Bruins fans because their father was a Bobby Orr fan, or and they were Bruins fans because of Bobby Orr, and that's why I hear anyway. A lot of Canadians love Bobby Orr, and he's where was he from? Parry Sound.
Prairie Sound,
yeah. So he, I mean, amazing, like how much of a far reach he has, like just for and why the Bruins have a lot of fans in a lot of different places. You know what I mean? He's the reason.
Yeah, and the sad part. So I've been into basketball lately, playing a lot of hoops, replay on the PC. And so I'm looking at a lot of stuff, and a lot of reels are coming up of Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. And this generation right now, they think it's LeBron James. And I'm not going to get into an argument of who's the greatest ever, because even Jordan will tell you, it's impossible to tell.
Right.
Everything has changed.
Yep.
But the sad part is, people don't remember the things that Michael Jordan did or Larry Bird. People don't think, like, they look at today and they go, Larry Bird, he was a white guy. Well, listen to the players of his time talk, because they thought the same thing. And they were like, well, how much has he got? Until he lit them up, told them he was going to light them up. So imagine now, Bobby Orr played in the 60s and 70s. These kids, they don't have a clue.
No. I was born in 76, so it's like I didn't really get a chance to watch him play. I mean,
well, I didn't have the luxury of them televising as much.
Oh, my father certainly told me about him, though. I'll tell you that much. He reminded me. He still reminds me of him. He's like, every time
all I can tell people is, go look at videos.
Yeah, you just. My favorite thing is when he was doing his own little penalty kill. He would just skate around, come up to the red line, go skate back. Nobody could keep up with him. Like it was just like nobody could even.
And it makes me wonder
well ahead
why.
of his time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This makes me wonder why I watch these teams play, and they'll kill a penalty, and they never try to come back in the other end, their own end.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
To kill them, they don't.
No,
yeah.
They just.
Why not just shoot it back to the guy? Yeah, put it back to your goalie for God's sakes if you have to. Just like.
There's a story out there with Bobby Orr, and I don't remember who told it, but he was playing in the game and killing a penalty. There was nobody like him. And he's skating around, ragging the puck, and he goes behind, and I forget what caused it, but he lost his glove.
Oh,
you heard that story?
Yeah. I might have, yeah. Go ahead, keep going because I don't.
He goes back behind his net, skates, Deeks moves up, and he bends down as he's skating up ice and puts the glove on and fires one on net. And the guy telling the story goes, no, he didn't score, but at that point, nobody cared. They gave him a standing ovation. It's like,
so great. I mean, that's the sad thing is that if he played even in like early 2000s or since his knee injury might not have been a career ender like it was. You know what I mean? Like
I say that about Joe Namath too.
Same
they had
thing,
today modern medicine, but Bobby Orr, he deserves so much more.
There's a lot of athletes out there where you can say what if, because I do the same thing with Mario Lemieux being a Lemieux fan. If he didn't have the back issues he had, and then the Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, God. I think he could have been. I think he could have broke Gretzky's record. I think he was that good. I mean, he just.
Well, I've talked with John, and I think flip a coin, the two greatest players ever, in my opinion, were Lemieux and Bobby Orr. Lemieux didn't have the supporting cast. That Gretzky was phenomenal. He had vision like nobody's business.
What do you mean? Rob Brown wasn't a supporting cast?
Him too.
So
that guy made more money off of Lemieux than anybody else in history.
Unbelievable.
Here's my argument to that. I think Gretzky had the supporting cast earlier in his career, where it took Lemieux, I think, 4 or 5 seasons before he had anyone relevant.
Well,
really, the first relevant guy was Paul Coffey.
Yeah. Well, Yager obviously wasn't a bad guy to have.
But
he made a little later.
Yeah, a little later.
Right? And he had Kevin Stevens.
Started right away with Messier, Anderson, Kevin.
He had all Hall of Famers, Yari Curry.
Yeah, when Lemieux first came in, like, I don't know who they have. Rick Keogh or someone? I don't even know who the guys.
I don't even know if Keogh was still there. I know they had Mike Bullard.
Okay, that might have been the guy I was thinking about. Yeah,
right.
Same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Doug Bonger.
Midlife says right here. It's the truth. Imagine what those guys to do today, and not only
Peter
with that, also with the nutrition. The training.
Oh God.
It's don't ever tell me that those athletes of the days gone by couldn't compete today.
How many guys were smoking cigarettes?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Derek Sanderson's in there. He's in there smoking cigarettes between periods.
Right. Another great. Imagine them playing today. There's none of that because they know better.
But I think we can all agree Terry O'Reilly couldn't skate for crap though. He couldn't barely. He could barely. He was a good player. But he could barely skate.
On my team.
He could barely skate.
I'll take him on my team though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Chris Nyland. I hated him on the Canadians. Loved him on the Reds, on the Bruins. Yeah.
Nyland was
that crazy.
Yes. He couldn't play for nothing.
But he was just an agitator. And
but you needed them then.
Oh yeah.
You needed those guys.
He took a lot of the punches.
Yeah. I listened to Bobby. Oh, Dennis Hull just passed, but I listened to Brett Hull's podcast, The Guardians. It's very good.
No,
check it out. Yeah. So he's on there with Kelly Chase.
Oh, someone was telling me about that. And they said it's really good
Ice
stuff.
Guardians.
Yes.
That's what they call
Ice
it.
Guardian.
Ice Guardians. And but I'll tell you, if it wasn't for Kelly Chase, Tony Twist, they'd have been in trouble. They wouldn't have got off his backside.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
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 Yep. So he was
Twist.
able to roam around. It's cool. Tony Twist.
Those Blues teams were tough.
Yeah.
Kelly
That Ice
Chase,
Guardians
yeah,
is very good. You should check it out. It's good to it's a great listen for sure.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's great. I love those hockey. I mean, you know, to me, like I was a kid, but those old like watching those like in the playoffs, watching those Norris division teams fight it out the Blackhawks, North Stars, Red Wings, those were battles. I remember watching those on TV. I'm like, this is crazy. Like that's and the Bruins and the Canadians and the Nordiques and the Whalers and the Sabres, those were all fun. But those Norris division was craziness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was nuts. I remember seeing them, they used to just kick the crap out of each other so much.
I grew up with a Guy Lafleur as he was my hockey idol.
Oh, yeah,
he was my favorite athlete ever. When I found out he smoked, it was very upsetting to me. I
really
never did. Yeah, well, I never did.
Well, when did you find out that he smoked? Like early on when he was still playing or after?
It was like afterwards.
Oh, okay.
And it was a big turnoff, but it didn't stop me from loving who he was and what he did. He was my idol. I wore his number. I played it, and I always will. So he was taken too early for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So the other thing, and I'll finish with this, the other problem with the bash, what the heck can you possibly do after that?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking forward to not thinking for a while about anything, or you know, maybe just enjoying some 87 games. But you know, I think Jamie and I have talked. We have some other ideas, not like anything big project. Maybe like might think about doing some kind of like fictional online league or something. Maybe if other people might want to be interested in that with the OTP. Just looking into that, just like kind of, you know, it's something I've always thought about. You know, I started OTP playing fictional baseball leagues. Like I used to create everything from the ground up, obviously, like you would expect, right? Yeah. So that's what I did when I first started playing OTP. So I didn't start playing historical until after I started creating these parks. So, but anyway, so thinking about that, maybe something with OTP or I feel like OTP doesn't get a lot
for you.
What's that?
If just take it for what it is. Being a big soccer fan that I am, and how they do it in Europe, have like a Champions League, and you get all the World Series winners, and then you do a new bash, but obviously with fewer teams.
Mm-hmm.
And you just
I mean
winners and who's the best of the best champions.
Has that already been done? I would imagine.
I don't know.
Well, maybe. I mean, but I mean that's not a bad idea. You know what? The other thing we thought about, Jamie and I, what I think it would have been cool to do was take all of the teams that lost in the final of the brackets, all the 32 teams that lost in the finals, and do a whole final 32 team bracket with those 32, and then whoever wins that would be the 33rd best team. You know what I mean? Like all the losers. That would have been funny to do. Like, hey, here's the battle for 33 or whatever.
I would love to see
just to extend it.
A book on the bash.
Oh yeah. Well,
I just think it would make for. I don't know if it would appeal to everybody. But baseball fans might eat that up alone. Not even playing games. You know that don't even play games. It's baseball. People still love the game, the history of the game. You brought the entire history of baseball to life, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know if you realize the magnitude of what you put together.
But the one other cool thing about it is the way I told you I want to try to preserve as much information, data, stats as possible.
Please.
So I do have every season file that I've created, every bracket file backed up, zipped up. Also I'm able to, if I load any one of those up, I can go to any of those games and replay a whole game and watch it in OTP. So I can if I just want to go back and say, oh, this guy hit like a crazy home run, I can go back anytime I want and say, all right, let me replay that, and I can take a screenshot of it. That's what we've done. We've taken screenshots from the games. We've gone back to like the first bracket, say, hey, this guy hit 3 home runs, and in round 2, and all right, let's go back to that, and we did it, and we look at the replay. So I can do all that. So I have complete flexibility with all those games. I can go back to any one of them if I want to. So it really is like a historical record.
So I don't want to forget, before we sign off, what are they to look? See, I already have you. I subscribe to you and notify. I get notifications. What's the best? What do they look up on YouTube?
That's a good question. I kind of created at first I just used my own personal, which I only had like a handful of videos on there. I actually created my first videos. I only put up there was like was how to create ballparks. Like,
all right, I'll link it. I'll put the link.
It's
in the
I
show's
think
notes.
Bash Live. It's called. If you do a search for Bash Live, I think.
I'll put it in.
I can give you the link. Oh, you have the link, right? It's one of the links. Any of the links I put on any of the millions of Facebook posts.
Because not everybody that comes here, I believe, is subscribed to the Facebook group. Mine.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's also there. The information to all the shows are there, and the games, and it's showtime now.
Thank you.
We're down.
Yeah, it is. It's fun.
Teams.
It's right, and then the games are going to go. It's going to be less and less games now, so it's going to go a little faster, I think, if we keep up at the right pace. But
incredible.
But me being a cheapskate, I only have 23 hours of streaming and a month. So I might get cut off at some point, saying, "Oh, I got to wait till next month." If it came to that, and I was going to be like a couple of weeks of wait, I would just fork over the money and just for a month or two or whatever.
I would sponsor that.
No, that's all right. It's fine.
I would sponsor that.
I'm just kidding around. I'm not trying to make a name. I know I'm joking about it. I'm not trying to make a name about my cheapness, but I'm just saying it's just funny because I don't stream. That's the thing. I'm not a huge streamer, so I took this StreamYard and I was like, all right, well, I'll use that, and then I didn't realize I had a 20-hour limit or whatever per month, but I don't really want to invest too much because I'm not really planning on having like this stream. Like, you guys are doing a great job. A lot of other guys are doing a great job with this. I'm not really into getting into that kind of thing. I like being a guest. It's fine with me.
Oh, you just knock. You're welcome anytime, Mike.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having me on. Yeah.
Oh, you kidding? We couldn't wait. Me and John kept saying we couldn't wait. And
I think this is probably the one episode I've been on where I've smiled, grinned ear to ear from start to end. So
that's great. Thanks, man. Well,
Thank
John,
you.
I hope keep in touch. Like, whatever. If you have any questions about the Bash or anything, let me know.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's nice to meet you.
He's a little upset his team got knocked out. But
yeah, I know. That's one thing. I do remember him saying, "Oh,
so maybe they could be the 33rd team, John."
Oh,
no. If you made the final 32,
that's right.
You're already there. Blue Jays already have the privilege of being in the final 32, so that's not bad.
That's incredible.
I honestly, I like that team too. That was a good team. Like, I remember that team, and it's cool. Team. I think that they won the World Series and they're in the final 32. I thought that was great. And Toronto doesn't have a whole lot of teams to pick from. Like, they were a relatively new team in the whole grand scheme of things.
Yeah, that's one of my baseball memories too. I'll never forget that.
Yep.
What a home run.
But sad news for the Phillies, Tigers, and Dodgers that none of those teams made one bracket.
That was the biggest surprise to me, is the Dodgers. No Dodgers teams.
I know. They were close a few times. And they had some good teams at Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
And the LA Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, geez, a lot of good teams.
Without a doubt.
Stuff happened. And the Braves came very close. They won the last bracket to get into the final 32. Otherwise, they would have been shut out too. So,
like the saying goes, it's why we play the games.
And the Phillies. I say the Phillies. The Phillies.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay.
Is it? It's the 2001 Seattle Mariners that won 116 games.
Yeah.
I think it was with Ichiro. And
they didn't. Yes. I don't even know what. Oh, actually, the Mariners are terrible. I
know they were near the bottom of the overall standings, but I figured that would be one of the teams that would have gotten far.
I got a friend of mine, my friend Jeff, dear friend, diehard Seattle fan with everything. And he's always said that wasn't their best team.
Oh,
the 2000 team was better.
Really?
Yes. He always said the 2001 team wasn't the best.
Sorry. So the 2001 Mariners lost to one of the final 32 teams. Who was that?
When you're thinking of 2600
they lost to the
teams.
2008 Cardinals. There you go. So the 2008 Cardinals they beat the 2001 Mariners in round 2. of that bracket 14.
Uh,
Oh no, bracket 5. Sorry. So that was it. So see, I have that history right here. I can bring it up. You name a team, I can look
That's
up.
what I
what
mean.
That's
they
awesome.
lost.
That's
But
what
I mean,
I'm
the thing
talking
is, in the
about.
grand scheme of things, it's really just one tournament. It doesn't mean a hill of beans or anything. And
No,
people,
of course.
most people don't care. But it is just interesting just to see what happened when somebody ran this tournament. You know, these are the stories. You know, so
Oh, it's more
it's
than
like
that.
it's like what's it called? What's the court movie that these are their stories? What's that? The
Law and
what the
Order.
heck is it? Law and Order. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the bash. These are their stories.
Yeah,
Dun,
well,
dun, 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 dun,
it was
Yeah, yeah.
it was absolutely incredible.
All right,
Mike,
Vinny,
thank
this
you
has been a lot
so
of
much.
fun, man.
Don't hang up after we
I won't.
sign off. But everyone, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. What a treat. What a treat. 16 more teams to go. In my
That's it.
opinion, the greatest baseball project ever put out there on a computer. Tune in. I will put it in my notes, but you can YouTube, look it up. The Bash, Baseball Bash, Mike Silva. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's a treat.
And for anyone who hasn't watched any of it, you can go back and see the previous
Yes.
streams as well and get caught up on all of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's worth it. It's very, very good. Very well done.
You really appreciate it more, no, John, doing that?
Oh, 100%.
Yep, because you get the full
Absolutely.
picture
Thank you
and you
so
won't
much.
know.
It's a history lesson too, right? Because a lot of
Yes.
the teams pre 1980, you kind of know you know who the big players are, but to actually see them in action, I know it's not.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, no.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh, yeah, there
Okay.
we go.
Oh, it's just a second. All right. Good.
All right.
Finish what you were saying, John.
I was just saying, well, I know it's not real life, but it's still just to see these players perform,
Mhm.
It's real life to
different
us.
eras and stuff like that. It's so cool. It's a
It's
history
real-
lesson.
It's real life to us geeks.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Yep.
We eat it up.
We do. Thank God we do, and thank God we can. Everyone,
Yep.
thank you again for all of you for jumping in here and listening to Mike, the great, big, beautiful baseball bash. I think I say it right. I just love saying it all.
Yeah,
John,
it's great.
thank you again. Mike,
Thanks
I
again.
can't-
Thanks both of
this
you for having me
was
on.
just off the
Mike.
hook.
Thanks,
Off
Vinny.
the hook. So good night, everyone. And next show we're going to be doing a little soccer talk with the World Cup, and we have John and Dave Couch. If you don't know Dave, Kautz, you'll see him on Facebook. You see him on Delphi, and he's a huge
Oh God.
soccer guy. So this should be fun talking World Cup and soccer. Marco, I hope you hear me, because we'd like to pick your brain too. But I haven't seen you in a while, so I didn't want to bother you. Anyway, you guys don't sign off. Everyone else, good night and God bless.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.